6 o'clock. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, appreciate everyone being here tonight. And Mr. Campbell, let the record reflect, all three trustees are present. Is there any correspondence tonight?
Yes, sir, I have one. It's a liquor permit. It's a new permit for Matt and Shannon Enterprise LLC, grocery outlet of Cincinnati, 650 Eastgate South Drive, Suite F, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45245. There's no objections from police department, and it is in the proper zoning. That completes the correspondence.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. And moving right along, special presentations. Our good friend Tim, come on up, sir. Mr. Stevens, 25 years.
Sir.
Congratulations. By the way, before I throw it over to Chief Clemens, I do think we can all agree that you have the best-looking mustache I've ever seen in my life. I cannot pull that off, so. Chief Clemens, any words, sir?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Dills. So Lieutenant Tim Stevens has been here 25 years now. He's not only been a part of our fire department, he's been a part of this community. He is very involved in his church, very involved in local nonprofits, one being the Sleep in Heavenly Peace. He's somebody that's really embraced this community more than just with the fire department. Within the fire department for 25 years, he's taken on a lot of different responsibilities and roles. He's really stepped up as a mentor to our newer, younger personnel. He's really just somebody that steps up, not afraid to get his hands dirty, and is first a volunteer. So been a huge asset to us for 25 years. And the downside of 25 years is he can walk away at any point now. So 25 years is retirement age, so he's met that, so he can leave whenever he wants, and that's the downside of this. But we're very fortunate to have Tim.
Fantastic. Thanks, Chief. Mr. Becker, any words, sir?
Yeah, well, we certainly hope you're not going anywhere, at least not anytime soon.
I don't have any plans, Steve. Having too much fun.
That's what I like to hear. And I always like to ask the question, 25 years, any stories to tell, especially about Chief Clemens?
I don't think we have enough time. And we'll have to meet outside of the meeting, and I can tell you several.
Take you up on that. That's all, Chairman.
You got it. Mr. Logue?
Tim, look, that's incredible to hear how much your involvement is with Sleep in Heavenly Peace. 'Cause, I mean, I always see that, kind of throughout the community, and it's like what a heartwarming and rewarding mission. And a lot of times people think on things that are just outside of the community, but like you're focused on looking down and inside the community.
Yeah.
And that's where real leadership and courage to do what's right for your community matters. And just, we're blessed to have you. And for 25 years, and, it would be wonderful to have another 25,
I
right?
do have a
So
short
let's do
story
it.
about that Sleep in Heavenly Peace thing.
Yeah, please share and tell us about it, please.
So I was sitting at home recovering from surgery, and a young lieutenant on our department called me and said, "Hey, you want to meet this guy with Sleep in Heavenly Peace on Saturday?" And I was like, "I'm not doing anything." And he's like, "You got a heart for this sort of thing." And we met the guy, and I saw how the kids were affected, and been hooked ever since. And that young lieutenant was Chief Clemens, so
Yeah,
he's looking.
there's the story.
Now he's a big
That's
shot.
good. That's good. That's great. No, thank you. I mean, that's incredible to hear the background and the story, and that's exactly where things get started, right? Just by people paying attention, picking up, and moving in the direction that they feel called. So we're blessed to have you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Tim, you're also the union president. You do a fine job representing your firefighters. You and I met, gosh, right before I got elected the first time. Good people, very real, very raw. Love having you here, and I agree with Chief Clemens. Hopefully you're here for many more years to come, because you are truly a blessing. So good stuff, man. The Tim, we got this for you, and then I got one more to recognize, then we'll come down and get a picture for you, okay? But wanted to give this to you, just 25 years of service to Union Township. We appreciate you, sir, very much. Thank you,
Very
sir. Thanks, Tim, appreciate you. Next up is our police department. Be Clay Zimmerman. Clay, how are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good to see you. And I'll throw it over to Chief Reese. Sir, any words?
Thank you, Mr. Dills. Clay's been a wonderful employee for the police department. Hard worker, loyal, wears a lot of hats for us over the years. He serves on our honor guard. He serves well in Washington DC and competed a few times for us. He is a member of the dive team, the county dive team, so don't have to tell you how dangerous that can be from time to time. And he served on our bike patrol. He doesn't anymore, but years ago as he came up through the ranks. He is an armorer, so he wears a lot of hats for us. He maintains our armory, cleans our guns, works on our guns, and he's currently in our investigative unit. I'm sure Sergeant Marshall would tell you he does a great job there. So 20 years here, Clay, appreciate all your hard work, appreciate the way you represent the police department.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Becker.
Wow, that's quite a story. You're larger than life. Turn around, do you have a cape? No, hey, I bet you have a lot of good stories to tell. Anything?
I got lots of stories, but just not for you.
All right, you can probably keep us here all night. I'd love to listen to you for a couple hours. All right, that's all, Chairman.
Got it. Mr. Logue?
Yeah, I mean, quite a diverse, within knowing the police department, but diverse experiences that you've been able to put yourself towards and apply, and it's incredible. I just kind of think about the challenges that probably been in front of you with that, from dive team, armor, that's not easy, and investigations. Tell me, whenever I do hear of things going on at East Fork Lake, with you being on the county dive team, does that like prompt you to be part of the effort and response to?
That is, yes, sir. Yeah, I've been out there several times on recoveries over the years.
Yeah, it's dangerous. I don't know what, I'm sure you could talk about what the dangers are, because it seems like far too often there's people getting killed, out at East Fork Lake in the waters. So, but if anyone's ever in trouble, if I was ever in trouble, I definitely would want you coming to help me out. So, yeah. So thank you. We're blessed to have you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Clay, 20 years, and you're going to finish out your career here, right?
Yes, sir.
Good man, good man. Appreciate your service very much. And then we'd like to honor you as well. Got this for you, and then so we'll come down here right now and take a picture. But 20 years, appreciate you, sir. Thanks, Clay, very much. All right, next on our agenda is presentation of our Mount Moriah Cemetery fee schedule. Ms. R., I'll throw it over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman and members of the board. Thank you, Matt. Per ORC 51711, the Board of Trustees shall provide for the protection and preservation of cemeteries under its jurisdiction. So in essence, our responsibility is to ensure that our cemetery remains financially sustainable, properly maintained, and able to serve families for generations to come. Updating our rate structure allows us to better reflect the current market demand and ensure that maintenance and long-term care costs are adequately supported. So the cost of operating and maintaining the cemetery has risen to the point where expenses are highly exceeding the revenue generated under our current rate structure. The image here highlights the past 3 years and the revenue versus expense cost. Each year, we are consistently in the red, more than $500,000. So in order to responsibly maintain the grounds and ensure the cemetery remains sustainable for future generations, adjustments to our pricing is necessary. Essentially, if we were a business, we would be out of business. Our rates have remained unchanged for several years. As you can see on the light blue line, we remain well below rates of the other cemeteries in the area. In order to responsibly maintain the cemetery and ensure it remains sustainable for future generations, it's necessary to revisit and update these rates. In developing the proposed rate adjustments, we conducted research on comparable cemeteries throughout the tri-state area, and we evaluated how our current pricing compares with other cemeteries that offer similar services and memorial options. So the proposed rates were developed with the goal of bringing our pricing closer in line with regional standards while still remaining fair and competitive for the families we serve. And then something to keep in mind when looking ahead to the future, when we were researching rates, is the change of the cemetery landscape across the country. Burial practices have shifted. So according to the National Funeral Directors Association, the national cremation rate reached over 60% in 2025 compared to choosing traditional burial. So looking ahead, cremation is expected to account for more than 82% of all dispositions by 2045, while traditional burials continue to decline. As more families choose cremation, demand is increasingly focused on columbarium niches and other cremation options rather than traditional in-ground grave sites. We added the proposed rates into what was accomplished in 2025. With these new rates, the gap in loss would improve by over $400,000. We plan to include an annual market adjustment each year ranging from 2.5% to 3.5%, depending on the need. And overall, maintaining a cemetery is a long-term commitment to our community and to the families who have entrusted their loved ones to us. To honor that commitment, our rate structure and must reflect the true cost of long-term care, maintenance, and operations of the township. So the proposed rates were developed after reviewing our expenses, analyzing changing burial trends, and comparing our pricing with other cemeteries throughout the tri-state area. These adjustments are intended to keep our cemetery financially sustainable while remaining fair and competitive. And these rates ensure that we can continue providing a dignified and well-maintained resting place for generations of families in our community. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Ms. R. Mr. Becker?
I don't have any questions, but a few comments.
No problem.
So
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead.
when I saw that first graph, it's actually on page 2, you have the very long red bar are expenses, and then the very short blue bar are revenues. I was very shocked by that because I thought we had fixed this problem a few years ago when we adjusted the rates. And it's obvious we had not, and that's a pretty considerable deficit. And something Mr. Campbell has talked about over the years is, there's none of our departments sustain themselves. The police levy doesn't cover the police, the fire levy doesn't cover the fire, general fund isn't enough to cover, the cemetery revenues, obviously, from these charts don't cover the cemetery cost, and, same with zoning. So that's true with every department, which goes into why we do TIFs and JEDs to make up the difference. And so we can fund all these things. And for people who don't like TIFs and JEDs, well, we can always raise property taxes, so pick your poison. With that, you know, and looking at the last graph where it shows with these increases, it still doesn't get us up to matching up our revenues with our expenses, but it does get us a whole lot closer. So it's moving the ball in the right direction. So, Mr. Chairman, I do support the increases. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Becker. Mr. Loeb?
Nothing then?
Mr. Wright, I assume we'll probably be voting on this next month?
Yes, sir, I can bring the actual formal fee schedule. I wanted the board to have an opportunity to kind of see the research that the team here has done, kind of look at this. Just for the public, we looked at, I believe we looked at Rest Haven, we looked at Spring Grove, and we looked at Gate of Heaven, all very nice first-class cemeteries. We view Mount Moriah, it's probably one of the busiest public cemeteries in the entire region in that. And again, Mr. Taylor probably knows down to the decimal point how many people are buried there. I do not. I estimate it to be well over, do you think 25, 30,000 burial sites? At least 25,000, and it's well over 75, is it 70, 75 acres? 50 to 75, something in that neighborhood. But it's a site that, you know, we take a lot of pride in, and just, you know, continuing and ongoing maintenance and of that, and we just have to be competitive. And certainly, to Mr. Becker's point, while nothing here entirely pays for itself, I think the graphs put together by Ms. R. and Mr. Taylor speak for themselves. So if we're going to maintain it in the future, we have to make sure we have adequate revenues to do that.
Oh, go ahead, please, go ahead.
One thing to add, for the residents, I don't know if it's been said, and maybe Mr. Wright, you can speak to this a little bit. The cemetery is a requirement that the township maintains it by those in legislation. Mr. Becker shaking his head, yes. He's spent 8 years in legislation. He knows this stuff well. So it's, however you want to identify it, it's a burden that as the local government, we are required, mandated by law to take. Mr. Wright, is there anything additional you
I
can say
think
to that?
that sums it up. We have it, and we have to maintain it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Numbers make sense. My only request is that if you're a township resident or an employee of the township, you get, you know, a slight break in the price. It's my only request, is that a slight discount. Outside resident, you know, they pay normal prices. It'd be my only request, but. Ms. R., good presentation. Appreciate you.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, there's no personal actions, and then I apologize, I didn't let the public know. If you would like to speak now during public comments, we've got public comment cards back there, and then we'll grab them actually right now if anybody would like to speak. And then before that, we do have a few public hearings tonight, so if you're here to speak on the public hearing, you can absolutely speak now, but I would ask you probably to hold off and wait, so you don't have to basically talk twice on the same subject. So, but public comments, is there anybody at all that would like to speak on anything that's on your mind? Yes, ma'am, yeah, did you grab one of those cards back there? Yeah. Oh, great, yeah, please, Mr. Taylor will grab it from you. Please, come on up.
I would like to speak about this one.
Yeah, please. No, now's perfect time, yeah, perfect. And then Mr. Taylor, what's that? Oh, it's okay, it's okay.
You can have it on the way here.
Perfect, and then would you just state your name and address for the record?
I'm Shamanti Fernando, and my address 3733 Charterwood Court.
And you said you should, Shamad?
Shamanti.
Shamanti, okay. Yeah, please, go ahead, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. And this is about the SWAN resolution that I saw in the agenda.
Yeah.
And I have spoken to Mr. Corey and Lisa about 2 weeks ago, and I appreciate they met me to discuss some of the concerns I had. So my understanding was that you were looking for sanctuaries, but when I saw the resolution, I was little disturbed because it says that disposal of township property. So my assumption is that you are trying to pass a resolution to technically sell the 3 remaining swans to someone outside. So, I have been going to the Memorial Park for about 20 years, and I have seen these swans in the Memorial Park for about 10 years. So nowadays I go every day. Some days I feed them, and I have spoken to Mr. Corey and Lisa about it, and of course I recognize that Memorial Park is not a really good park for the swans. Hello. And there is another swan in the Clipper Park. But my concern is that I feel that this was done in a hurry, and I know that there was an individual who spoke. I saw the meeting minutes and I watched the video, about the concerns about the swans. But I feel that the community was not involved, and maybe it is because I don't have enough information to make a judgment. So I do have lots of questions. Are they going to be sold to a private owner? What are the details? Are they going to be taken care of well? Are we going to get feedback from them? Because there are lots of people in the community who really care about these swans. And it will be, of course, a traumatic experience when we move the swans to a new place. And it's also the community without, getting them involved. I have like 1 page or 2 pages written of questions that I have about what's the process, have you found someone who's going to buy? So I'm also confused, is it a sanctuary or a private owner? So there's a lot of questions, and I thought it would have been good if the Union Township had some sort of a meeting with the community, or maybe through social media or some way, or newsletter, to give us information. So that is my first concern. And then, of course, I sent an email to Lisa about my suggestions. I think it would be good to have the pair in the Memorial Park pond, maybe to keep them in the Union Township. We have 2 other ponds, Clipper Park and, of course, Mount Moriah Cemetery Pond, which is, is free. Now there are no swans there, and there are no fishing, and it's pretty isolated. I think it will be perfect. Of course, there has to be some kind of a barrier between the pond and the parking lot, because unfortunately 2 weeks ago, one of the swans got killed there. Otherwise, it will be good. I understand there may have been not much communication between, swan, maybe volunteers and maybe the park service. Perhaps we can change that. I can be involved. There are others who want to be involved. Maybe a few of us can form a group and communicate if there are concerns to the Union Township. So my appeal is to maybe postpone this resolution and give us information before you make the resolution, because I feel that once you pass this, we will not be able to make any comment. Our comments may not be able to go through. And the other is to consider keeping at least the pair in the Memorial Park here. Mount Moriah is great. And the female, of course, if she's going to be adopted or going to another private ownership, to answer all the questions we have. So that is basically what I want to say. And I don't want to take too much time, but thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, Mr. Tremonti. And I'm going to let Mr. Wright speak in a minute on our process of what we're doing exactly. But I'll say this. Swans are beautiful. We love having them here. The problem is we can't police the swans, meaning people fish in the ponds they're not supposed to be fishing in. They swallow hooks. People run them over. They got hit by their cars. And it's a lot to take care of them. And our intentions were good when we first got them. It was before we were trustees up here. But we can't keep them in the township because we made too many people upset when the idea and the thought, in the beginning, I understand it was a good thing, to chase away all the geese and have some, pairs in each pond, lake at the parks. But, can't control where they go. One was crossing Clough Pike and got hit. The other one was backed up at, the other one and got ran over, and the other one swallowed a hook. It's just like, holy cow. So we're not animals, people. We're a township. So that's why we can't keep them here. It was a good thing, but just, we couldn't police people. We couldn't take care of them. We're not swan caretakers. So, but, Mr. Wright, I'll let you speak just for a minute, kind of the process and what we're doing and all that, yeah.
Thanks, sir. The swans are actually considered township property. And so Ohio Revised Code is very specific as to how the township disposes of township property. And because they have a defined value in the Ohio Administrative Code of $750, we're required to dispose of them by resolution. So we have to the board has to adopt a resolution before we do anything with the swans other than, obviously if they expire, they die, naturally or unfortunately get hit or whatever, we don't have to do anything there. So there's a number of different ways to dispose of them. We actually, following the last meeting and the extensive presentation, I know that Ms. R reached out to several sanctuaries. The advice that we got unequivocally was that whether it was a zoo, whether it was another sanctuary, they were going to promptly euthanize the animals because they're non-native to this area. And so that, in my mind, quite frankly, was unacceptable. And so what we looked at was the second part. There's multiple ways you can dispose of property. You'll see, if you follow the township, you'll see really exciting things like us approving things to go out to gov deals or to auction things off. But we can also dispose of property that's less than $2,500 in value by private sale without bid or advertisement. So the plan here is we employ a lake and pond professional the township uses to maintain our lakes, keep them clean, keep the algae out, things like that.
Okay.
We're going to use this professional as an intermediary to place these swans in private lakes where they can live their lives free from interference and harm for the rest of their lives. And we would negotiate a contract with that person to subsequently relocate them in that. So we're not going to talk about where they're going. Quite frankly, we just want them to go to good homes where they're going to be able to live. I think they're 6 to 8 years old and they should live 18 to 25 years. Hopefully they're enjoyed for the next, they get another 15 years of high quality life and they're not harassed by, wildlife or kids or miscreants or anything like that, and they can, live on private property. So that is the intent of the resolution that's before the board this evening. But in order for us to do anything with them, we have to adopt a resolution to do that. And until the board adopts a resolution to do that, then nothing can happen. And unfortunately, we end up with, we're in a holding pattern, right? And so while between the hearing in February, where we talked about it, and March, we had one tragically run over at the cemetery by a patron of the cemetery at a funeral that at least thankfully called us to let us know that they backed over the thing on the way out of the funeral. And it was terrible. Thankfully, it didn't suffer or whatever. But, this is the process that we have to follow.
So that means you haven't still found a possible
They are
person,
actively looking for places for these animals.
Oh, okay.
Yes, our consultant is looking for that. Yeah.
I mean, is it possible to get us, people who are, concerned about swans to get involved, at least to get information and share, saying that, okay, they are going to this kind of home, we have done background checks, and, it's a large pond, or, how many swans in the pond, some kind of information. And do you think you'll be getting feedback from, suppose hypothetically, if they are sold, will you get information from them, how they are doing? And
We will work very closely with our lake and pond management consultant to make sure that the birds are placed in an appropriate home. That's about as much as I can say. I don't have a place for them yet. It's not, 1, 2, 3, 4 anywhere street on a 2.5 acre pond. I don't have that information.
Yeah.
yet. But we certainly will hopefully get a report and vet where these animals are going, and that will be part of this action with our consultant before we release control of the animals. We're not going to put them in a bad situation. We don't want that.
Appreciate your heart. I see where it's at. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else that'd like to speak tonight? Yeah, please, come on up. Yeah, no problem. Oh, yeah, please, come on up to the mic, please, yeah.
I didn't recognize her from the back.
It's okay. Did you want to come on up here and speak? Okay. Yeah, no sweat. And then, would you just state your name and address for the record? Sorry, yeah, please, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my name is Rhea Aker, and I live at 4254 Ilium Avenue, the new affordable housing complex.
Yeah.
I am you have done such a phenomenal job in this community. And, sir, I want to thank you for your service. I mean, I read your bio.
Thank you.
Wow. And then I saw that,
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
thank you, and prayers for our soldiers.
Thank you.
But I'm here in support of Shamonte. We just miraculously met one night. It's going to be a little long. I, for some stupid reason, rented this movie from the library, Black Swan. I looked at it and I'm like, that's not something it looked kind of evil. And I'm like, but something told me to get it. And a few days later, I watched it, and Shamonte came up as the White Swan, and I'm coming up kind of as the Black Swan. I appreciate everything you're saying and doing, but I have an alternate solution. You bought these birds to be, well, actually, for your words, Mr. Dills, I thought it was, for what I've read on the, information is so limited about Union Township's purchase of these swans. It's conflicting. The one report I found is that you bought 5 pair in 2019 and placed them at Ivy Point Pond.
I mean, anyone can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe we had a pair at each pond, correct?
Heard this article said, yeah.
Well predated this board, so
Yeah, but
I
I mean-
apologize if it's not transparent to you, it's likely not as transparent to us.
Same.
If I may, sir, I believe we
Yeah.
bought several pairs,
Yeah.
and we placed them at different facilities. We didn't put them all at one place, but it sort of expanded. I don't remember what the initial purchase was. It was either 6 or 8. Is that correct, Mr. Taylor? 6, and then we added a pair. Then unfortunately, I believe 1 or 2 of them were killed by various means. One was an intentional act of cruelty. The other one was an unfortunate act, a wildlife victim. And then I think we purchased a couple more, correct? And so through all of that, we had pairs at the cemetery, at Veterans, and at Ivy Point. That's what we ended up with. So am I missing anything? No.
That's
Okay.
good. That's a good
Yep.
background. But yeah, please, Ms. Aker, go ahead, yeah.
So, golly geez, I'm not sure where to, I want to start on a positive note.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to dispose of them. Oh my God, when I read your agenda today, I was crushed. Dispose of property. They're beautiful swans. People love the swan. They go to the park to enjoy the swans that you put there for them to come to enjoy. And that's happening. We all agree that Veterans Memorial is a very dangerous place for them. Fishing, they get hooks, they need to go. Now, check this out. Adam and Eve that are at Veterans Park, I've named them Adam and Eve. Shamonte knows I call them Adam and Eve. We relocate them to Mount Moriah, where Abraham was challenged, where David brought the first stones, and where Solomon built the temple, Mount Moriah, Adam and Eve. And then we do a live feed. People would love to watch your signets, your investment. I mean, you spend a lot of money on these beautiful birds, but people would love to see, I did a little bit of research. People love the eagles, but I've actually found live feed on swans being hatched. And what a blessing it could be for the community. And all it takes is a railroad tie, or maybe 2 railroad ties, for that entrance where it got ran over, when they have to go in and make a burial, which is what happened. And in fact, Shamonte and I, we went out and we blessed Mr. and Mrs. Biggs and prayed for Adam and Eve to be moved to Mount Moriah, and did a memorial for Mr. and Mrs. Biggs. and laid out flowers. And she's become she's becoming a beautiful asset to you. She's buying pellets. I mean, y'all feed them. I am gonna be a little mean.
John, you hungry?
This is what you feed them, scratch grains. You're feeding the geese. Okay?
I've always been deeply concerned about that. If what we were doing for the swans, it was what was bringing the geese into the park. So if that's what you're saying, no fault to anybody up here, but.
Absolutely, they lay it out on the ramp. And the geese, of course the geese are gonna come here and you hate the geese being here, they poop all over the place, they scare people, yeah. And then, but I read this, it says feed as a source of grain to adult chickens, layers, ducks, geese, and turkeys. Nowhere does it say swans. And that's what you've been feeding. Shamonte is feeding them pellets. What I'm trying to paint a picture is that Shamonte and I are not the people that you are used to in the past. We actually are very deeply concerned and deeply committed to the well-being of Mr. and Mrs. Eve and Lady. And I really, truly believe, and so does Shamonte in her heart, that Adam and Eve, it would be such a blessing to the community. I mean, can you imagine a live feed and watching the cygnets for the first time ever, Adam and Eve are blessed with raising a gaggle of those cygnets at Mount Moriah. And it makes your investment, I mean, I don't have to say anything else.
I understand.
Okay, and I have to salute you, sir. No, I did once already, but.
God bless you, thank you.
Yeah, and this one, by the way, on top of her pellets, they love, like, like you said, people are down there and they're feeding them Cheerios, and everybody thinks they like bread. They feed them bread. I mean, they're getting all kinds of bad stuff. So we're going down there feeding them lettuce and peas and pellets, and we only met a month ago. So, but if you question how long have we stayed committed to this effort, we're going to build a community. We're going to build a community, we're going to build a community of swan lovers. And there is a community of swan lovers that will ensure, like Mr. Biggs, there is no excuse Union Township let Mr. Biggs die. Y'all know that, right? The impaction that was under his chin, Mr. Biggs starved to death at Mount Moriah. The wad that she pulled out of his throat, $50. It had been forming for at least 3 months. And you have somebody going out there and you're not taking care of them. We take care of them. We take pictures. We're checking their knobs. We're checking their chins. We are doing so much more than anybody else has ever done for them. I promise you, it will be a success. I promise you. And we'll build, you're going to build a community, Swan Lovers community.
Thank you, Ms. Aker. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Very sweet of you. Thank you very much.
And one more thing, I highly disagree with what you're considering the value of these swans. On the market right now, it's $5,000 for a mated pair of swans. I can pull it up for you right now. I literally have it right here on my page, $5,000 for a mated pair of swans, especially ones that are in their prime of age. So the ordinance doesn't even, it really is vetoed because it's not applicable. For one, they're not machines, they're not equipment, which is what the Ohio Revised Code is referring to. And they are certainly worth more than $2,500, which I could pull the whole thing up here. You're required to give a 2-week notice to the community about the sale of these swans because they are over $2,500. And there's a whole long process that you're going to have to go through if you want to transfer these swans.
Thank you, Ms. Aker. Appreciate you very much.
So Mount Moriah sounds really good, huh?
Appreciate you. Thank you, Ms. Aker. Thank you.
And again, thank you for everything that you've done for this community. Playground, I watched it be built. You've made Union Township, that's why I moved back here, because from Union Township, it's beautiful, and I thank all of you for everything that you've done.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Aker. Okay, is there anyone else at all? Okay, seeing none, I'll close public comments and move on to our department reports. All right, start off with our fire department. Chief Clemens, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Dills. In the month of February, the fire department responded to 168 fire and service calls, 546 EMS calls. We made patient contact with 486 patients. We transported 393 of those patients. We completed 1,401 hours of training. We're part of multiple public education details, hosted ride-along time for a total of 18 hours, completed 141 life safety inspections, 12 inspections with the Claremont County Building Department, and we currently have 2 vacancies within our department, and we are actively looking to fill those positions. And that concludes my report.
Thanks, Chief. Mr. Becker?
No.
Mr. Logue?
No, I'm good, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chief, good report, appreciate you. Moving on to our police department, Chief Reese, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Dills. In the month of February, the Communications Center, the Dispatch Center handled 4,777 calls for service for police, fire, and EMS, and 4,309 total calls. 382 juvenile and adult court-related documents were processed by our records section for delivery to court. 190 court notices were processed requiring an officer's personal appearance in court. 1 vendor permit was issued. 160 records requests were delivered, and 26 body camera videos were redacted. In the area of public affairs, officers conducted 2 public relations events in the month of February. Both were job fairs. One was a job fair at the West Claremont High School, and the other one was a criminal justice job fair at UC Claremont College. In the area of operations, our patrolmen took 235 incident reports, 76 crash reports, made 418 traffic stops, issued 128 citations, 300 written warnings, made 64 criminal arrests, 61 traffic arrests, and served 58 warrants. In the area of training, officers attended 136 hours of training in the month of February, and currently the police department has 2 vacant police positions and a vacant dispatcher position. And that concludes my report, sir.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Becker?
Yeah, so Chief Reese, you know, I always like to read through the call-out reports. And sometimes I have questions, but this time I really don't have a question, just a comment. So, and it's really just to thank the police department for keeping our community safe. Because as I read through these, they typically end with the words, "The suspect was incarcerated at Claremont County Jail." That's exactly what I want to hear. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Mr. Logue?
I'm good, thank you, Chief.
Chief Reese, good report, appreciate you. Okay, our service department, Service Director Matt Taylor, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Dills. In the cemetery division from February 1st, it should have been February 1st to the 28th, 15 burials were performed, generating $9,175. 6 resident graves were purchased, generating $4,200. 1 non-resident grave was purchased for $1,700. 2 columbarium niches were purchased for $2,400. The total amount generated for the period was $18,537. In the Parks Division, winter maintenance continues on machinery in preparation for spring. And the Roads Division, the Road Department patched a total of 101 potholes over a total of 14 township roads. A total of 24 work orders were completed on multiple township roads, and the Service Department staff were called out to treat the roads on March 2nd. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Mr. Becker, sir?
Yes, Mr. Taylor, do we have any salt left over?
Yes, we do. Yes, sir.
Are we expecting any more snowfalls?
I certainly hope not.
Yeah, hope not as well. It's been a harsh winter. Your people did a great job keeping up with it all, and hopefully they're done with all that and can concentrate on spring.
Yes.
All right, yeah, thank you, that's all, Chairman.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Becker. Mr. Logan?
I'm good, thanks for the hard work, Mr. Davis, appreciate it.
I agree. I'm glad winter's over for you all. That's good. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Planning and zoning, our administrator, Mr. Wright, sir?
Thank you, sir. You have to forgive me, it's been a while since I've done one of these. So for the month of February, we have 55 inspections, fielded 8 complaints, 3 of which were unfounded. We issued 4 warning citations, 1 15-day noncompliance letter, and removed 319 illegal signs. We also inspected 2 existing violations regarding permit activity, 20 new single-family home permits for the month of February, 2 commercial permits, 7 changes of occupancy, and it looks like it's pool and fence season again, with the warmer weather hopefully upon us. 39 permits for the month, $13,991 in monthly revenue total. That concludes planning and zoning report.
Sure, Mr. Wright. Mr. Becker?
Mr. Wright, I have a request. that I'd like you to consider. May not be a good idea. But on this report, as well as the police report, at least on the section for the Honor Guard and the K-9 unit, in both cases, you have January, February, year-to-date, and then a total. That's only 2 months of data, not real helpful. I wonder if you could do like a rolling 13 months, or at least a rolling 12 months. That way, we're always looking at 12 or 13 months of data to see kind of an eyeball better trend, rather than just 2 months. What do we read into that January, February? Just for your consideration.
Sure. One thing I would point out, sir, if you look at the, for the inspection activity, I mean, we can look at that for the inspection activity. We have the prior year revenue totals running for permit activity.
Yeah, I see that.
So, are you interested in seeing the actual permit revenue totals or the permit numbers in addition to the revenues, or just the, just want to make sure I get it right?
Haven't thought it out that far.
We can sidebar on that. Yes, sir. Perfect.
Mr. Logan?
No, appreciate it. Good report, Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright, good job, and I'll stay with you on our administration report, sir.
Sure, and thank you, sir. We got a lot on the agenda this evening, so I'll be brief. Just wanted to talk about a couple of pedestrian projects. We're going to apply for STBG money through OKI for the ICOLTS pedestrian improvements, which is kind of from here over to Eastgate Boulevard. ODOT systemic safety funding for Summerside Road pedestrian access, sort of starting in the neighborhood of the park and working our way down to the south in order to enhance pedestrian activity and safe linkages in that area. The access control project continues. You saw the fee schedule tonight, the discussion on the cemetery. We are off and running on the ODOT Safe Routes to School Planning Grant, which we received. We are still working with ODOT on the Klepper access land. There's 3 zoning cases this evening, 2 text amendments, 1 pretty simple overlay case. We also have a resolution this evening to donate an obsolete police cruiser to Tate Township. The car needs a lot of work, and it's beyond its useful life, but they've graciously, they would be thrilled if we move forward on that. We have to renew our aggregation program this evening again for the annual renewal. Again, rates are going to be higher. This is the market. The memorandum demonstrating the cost savings was provided to the board from our consultant in that, and I think people have seen that energy prices across the board are, they're just higher, and a lot of it boils down to capacity fees. Chief Clements continues to pursue federal and state grant sources for a planned training tower facility for the township, and we also have a couple of items related to nuisance abatement this evening. We are currently advertising the vacant zoning director position and some IT assistance in that, in addition to the recruitments that Chief Clements discussed a few minutes ago. So that concludes my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Great, thank you, Mr. Wright. Mr. Becker?
I do, just one. So that, Mr. Wright, the first paragraph you have, it's kind of potentially a lot there. If you could expand on some of it, I think it'd be interesting to the community. So you're talking about engineering for Old State Route 74 sidewalks, the ICOLTS pedestrian improvement, and Summerside Road pedestrian improvements. A lot of people in the community are asking for sidewalks. What kind
Sure.
of updates do you have on that?
So the old 74 sidewalks basically extend us down from Schoolhouse to around the Buxton overpass, and that was a systemic safety grant that was awarded. Those sidewalks were actually deleted out of the original project. There were originally sidewalks, if I remember, a long time ago, or at least conceptually they were there. They're actually sidewalks on the bridge. You can see it. This does not get us quite there, but it gets us very close. That is the systemic safety grant. That's the old 74 sidewalks. That was a prior funding that we pursued and talked about last year. STBG, that's Surface Transportation Block Grant funding. That's through OKI. That's for the ICOLTS pedestrian project, basically leaving up where the county left off over here at the Walmart roundabout, we'll call it, and getting us as far as we can down to Eastgate Boulevard. That's the goal, at least. If we're not sure quite how far that'll get us, but we'd ideally like to get all the way into Ivy Point, help fill some of those gaps in, connect into the walking path, connect in at ICOLTS, where there are sidewalks west of Eastgate Boulevard, and sort of build that network out. Regarding the Summerside Road pedestrian project, again, this was an ODOT systemic safety candidate. That area lacks a significant amount of pedestrian connectivity, but there are substantial residential neighborhoods in and around there. That is a very common theme we hear from those people with the improvements to the park. We'd like to really walk there, particularly for those south and west of the park. They are very access challenged, and this project was designed to enhance that and to get them some safety and some dedicated crossing areas. So that is that.
Oh, that sounds great. Thank you, Mr. Wright. That's all I have, Chairman.
Mr. Logan?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Mr. Wright, good job. Appreciate you, sir. Yeah, okay, moving on to our public hearings. And, let's see here. Okay, our first one is Union Township Overlay Case 2-26-O as an Oscar. And before we get into it, Mr. Wright, are you going to be explaining that one?
Sure.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir, and I'll just give a moment to pull up the PowerPoint. So, first case this evening, and I'll be very brief because we have a lot on the agenda, case 226-O. This is an overlay district application in the Ohio Pike corridor submitted by Kirk Ware here to redevelop or basically reoccupy and improve a former kind of long-standing property on the 125 corridor in the vicinity of Glenesti, Withamsville, and 125. Everybody remembers the old pool place that was there that sat vacant for a long time. He is actually going to go into this and bring a new business. I believe he's relocating from Newtown. Is that correct? Bring a new business here from Newtown with his employees. So we're excited about that. Clean the property up, remove the fencing and all of that. Can you go ahead and advance the next slide, please? Zone B1, you can kind of see the rudimentary site plan drawing, some additional parking. Really, this is exactly what the overlay case was built for. Is to help facilitate redevelopment and reoccupancy of a non-conforming use that has kind of discontinued, and that is the required process for that. So with that, he's got screening, he's got some parking, he's going to clean the buildings up, he's going to, most importantly, get rid of the old in-ground pool that's actually there. I think there's actually 2 in-ground pools there. I could be wrong. So that's an enhancement. The parking lot will go over that. And we'll be able to get rid of kind of that dilapidated fence along the frontage as well. The applicant, some of the overlay district regulations or modifications required would be a monument-style sign consistent with, improvements along the Ohio Pike corridor and the comprehensive land use plan, compliance with all regulatory, agencies having jurisdiction, privacy screening for all materials and storage located outside of a completely enclosed building, site plans for staff approval, landscaping plans for administrative approval, and lighting. If lighting is modified for the site, compliance with the newly adopted lighting standards for the township. So the action required this evening is in accordance with 1310 of the zoning resolution to approve, modify, or deny this request. Happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Becker, any questions?
Yeah, in that immediate area, I'm picturing an old lawnmower repair place. Is that part of this, or is that somewhere else?
Yes, it was.
It was, yeah, it's kind of, Lisa, can you put the aerial photograph back up and kind of get the feel for that there? So, go back 1, 2. Sorry, keep going. 1 more. There you go. So you had a lawnmower, lawnmower repair place, you had a pool place, and a lot of this was sort of obscured. If you remember some above-ground pools that were back there, those were removed. Now the in-ground pools remain. So again, opportunity to repurpose an otherwise non-productive piece of property and put it back into play and bring a new business to the township.
So the lawnmower place isn't there anymore, it's gone?
The whole site's vacant right now. His business would go
It's
there.
all gone. It was Anchor Pool. And
Anchor Pool, that's it. Anchor Pool.
It was the same
It was
business?
two different businesses.
All right, that's all, thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Logan, any questions?
No, thank you, Mr. Wright.
I'm good as well. All right. Gentlemen, I entertain a motion to open this public hearings case, Union Township Overlay Case 2-26-O as an Oscar.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Public session's open at 6:55 PM.
All right, and always start off with a proponent. Anyone for this case, this is your chance to come on up and speak. If you would like to speak on behalf of this case, if you're for it. Anyone?
Nobody's for it.
Okay. Anybody like to speak that's against it, or just talk about it in general?
The applicant is here, sir.
Yeah, if you'd like to speak, you're more than welcome to come on up.
We're excited to be here.
Fair enough. Okay, anyone else like to speak, for or against it? Oh, well, no problem, you just gotta come up to the mic and speak if you're. You do.
I think she just voted.
That's okay, no problem. Okay, seeing none, I'm gonna go and close.
What case is this? Because normally you put it up there.
It was up there.
Oh,
It's case
Mr. Hicks, I didn't see you
226-0.
there. Good to see you. Overlay case 2-26-0 is an Oscar. Apologize for talking too fast. Is there anyone else that'd like to speak on this case before I close out public hearing? All right, seeing none, I'll go and close public hearing. All right, gentlemen. Okay, any discussion on our part? Mr. Becker?
Yeah, I'm good.
Mr. Logue? Okay. Gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of Union Township Overlay Case 2-26-0 as an Oscar.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Congratulations, Mr. Ware. Thank you. All right, our next case is Union Township zoning text amendment case 1-26-T as in Tango. Mr. Wright, go ahead, sir.
Sure. So this is text amendments to the zoning code relative to short-term rentals and naturally maintained lawns that were sort of advanced through the zoning commission process, and then a set of recommendations came out for the board. The board initiated this text amendment, went back to the zoning commission. There was some resident feedback at the public hearing last month, and the zoning commission made some recommendations to modify the amendment as presented to restrict the short-term rentals to only the estate residential district. They made some, what I would classify as some pretty minor changes with regard to some deletion of the words mattress and cot, and then clarification of a bad section reference in that. The other thing is the naturally maintained lawns. This gives a little bit more defined. We have some people in the township that like, pollinator gardens, like naturally maintained areas, have a portion of their yard, and this sort of removes those areas from the gray zone,
Sure.
as we like to say, and we learned all about pollinator gardens last fall, I believe, or maybe mid-summer from one of our residents that's very passionate about that. So really, a couple of code amendments wrapped into one would create a definition for naturally maintained lawns, provide some boundaries around that in the general zoning code section, and then short-term rentals, establish some rules governing those in the township. So happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Becker?
No, I'm good.
Mr. Logue?
Good.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go and open this case up. Gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion to open this public hearings case, zoning text amendment case number 1-26-T as in Tango.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dill?
Yes.
Public hearing is open at 6:58 PM.
Is there anyone that would like to speak either for or against this text amendment? Oh, please, come on up. And then, because it is public hearings, I got to swear you in. All right. So you raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Great. Please state your name and address for the record, sir.
Ben Eichholz, 5079 Eagles View.
Great. Yeah.
I am the owner of a few short-term rentals. Actually, I missed the last meeting that some text was changed, and the biggest concern there is with moving this only into estate residential. And it really, really is a big change for us and a little change for, the goal. The goal would be to not disturb other residents, right? I think that's the end game. So let me slide back just a little bit. So we're talking about a conditional use case, and we're talking about a home. And the other use cases here are cemeteries, daycares, churches, country clubs, telecommunication towers, and things. So with regard to renting a home, it operates as a house, right? So there's people that come and go, whether it's people that come for 10 days, 5 days, rent it for a year, or they own it, whatever, all these people are under the same set of rules when they're there, right? They can't be allowed past 11, they They can't park on the street. All of these things are already set up. There are noise ordinances, nuisance laws, parking regulations, property maintenance codes, animal control, right? Okay. So if one of you, I'm sure many of you stayed at an Airbnb, and the reason that you do is because you are going there specifically to stay in a house and to use the kitchen and, you know, hang out in the living room, and, you know, you might go in the backyard and have a fire, whatever. But you're going there to use it as a house, just as anyone would use a house, right? You're not setting up a taco shop. You're not doing a church or a, you know, daycare, all these things. So the land use is exactly the same. A house is a house, regardless of how long someone's there. It's a house, right? I'm not going to tell a neighbor that they can't have their niece come and stay for 6 days while they're on vacation, right? Doesn't make any sense. So long as these people, just like anyone in the neighborhood, are following the law and all these other regulations that are already put there, it's essentially a residence. It's that person's residence for that, no matter how many days. So with this text here that we're talking about, we're already going way above and beyond what I just talked about, which is basically, hey, this is just a residence, people using it as a residence. So we're talking about how many people are allowed to occupy rooms, and how many people equals how many cars and all this stuff. Now hold on. So you're saying that the house next to me, no one's concerned with how many people are in a room or anything like this, or, you know, it's the same house, right? Whether they're there overnight because they're staying at a friend's house, or they're over there and the property owner isn't there, it's the same. Now, you know, I'm happy to make these places, because in the nature they're there temporarily, whether it be 2 nights or whether it be a month or whatever. So you want to make it, if they're, you know, unfamiliar with the house, right? You want to make it safe. You want to have the proper amenities, and, you know, calls, you know, number to call the police or whatever if there's an incident. So when we talk about rules like, hey, this should only be an estate residential, really, it's really far from the problem. I like to make rules and think of rules as closest to the problem that they're in. The problem is we don't want to disturb neighbors, right? So, you know, I even brought this up on another occasion, that I had created these nice signs, and I put them on the back doors to all the houses, right? And actually, I came up with it with which policeman, but anyhow, to me this is a lot more useful. This says, you know, quiet hours in effect after 10. Of course, 11 o'clock is the real problem now. But, you know, you're reminding people, you know, don't disturb the neighbors, right? This is a lot more valuable than saying, oh, it has to be on an estate residential property. It's arbitrary. If you have an estate residential property that's, you know, a long lot and there's houses next to each other, it's the same exact thing. You're not accomplishing anything. You're actually just saying that we don't allow Airbnbs because there's not enough properties to even use. You know, it doesn't make sense. So the target for these homes or the houses are houses. That's what they are. They're residential use. So, you know, when we talk about how far we're going way above and beyond, it's really not too all different, if any, of anyone staying in a house. They follow the same rules as anyone in any house in that neighborhood, right? And so you would have to ask yourself, what part of this, you know, is different, right? I mean, there's people coming to use a house, just like anyone in the neighborhood. They're not having a wedding or whatever, you know, even people in the neighborhood, they're allowed to have a party, right? You know, and so with the number of complaints that we've ever gotten, really, everything's been great. Aside from a couple instances around 4th of July, I don't know if you've got any calls on 4th of July, but they set off a couple fireworks or whatever in a 15-minute period. You know, that's, honestly, it's just normal activity, rather than it's, you know, it's not like there's something that's, you know, they're running a, I don't know, a dog show in the back or something, I don't know. They're not selling tickets to get in and setting up, it's the house. They're coming there to use it 100% like a house. So I would request, really considering what those rules actually mean and accomplish, how many calls did we get for too many people somewhere, or cars parked in a, you know, is there a problem that we're addressing? Like, is there cars parked too many places? Are we getting any calls about Airbnbs at all? Of those 4,700 calls, has one, you know, have we seen anything that we're addressing? Or maybe we need to, you know, address this from the start and add rules which are already in place for normal people in a neighborhood. We would add rules that are specific in accomplishing a goal, a problem, you know, addressing something. Right now, we're coming from zero and just making up things, and it sounds good, right? It's easy to pass something, well, we're just going to do it in a state residential. Well, it doesn't. For anyone involved with trying to, you know, to do this, it's a residential business, just like renting a home. It's the same thing. It's not a commercial business, right? And there's some idea here that this is anyway like a hotel. Well, it's not like a hotel at all. It's more like a, you know, it's a house rental, whether you stay there for 2 nights or a year. A hotel, you have a lobby, you have service, you have maids, it's a commercial business, right? I mean, that's why they have specific taxes for that. There's a different whole process there. You know, we're talking about also in here, there's a fee, which, you know, I think a reasonable fee would be more like $500. I don't know what the text is because I can't look it up. I went on the website, and that section is just poof, gone. So I see what they may have changed there, but I never saw like a revision of that, right? Because it was erased. Because the only things in there are the back down to the cemetery and country club, telecommunications, because they're in the R1. Hopefully, I can persuade you that maybe we're going too far with our starting point on these rules, right? I'm all about making sure that we do our best to, you know, obviously we don't want to cause disruption or disturbance for anyone, right? So.
That's good, okay. Thank you, Mr. Eichholz. Mr. Becker, do you have any questions for him?
Want me to give you this?
No.
I'll take it.
If you could, yeah. And then, Mr. Lowe, do you have any questions?
Thank you.
Mr. Eichholz, how many short-term rentals do you own in Union Township?
I own 3.
3 here?
Yes. So this initial request, okay,
Yeah.
came out of a certain house that I kept having problems with the wind blowing this gate, and it's actually broke both gates multiple times. And the issue was there was a pool, and the gate blew, just like we're talking about the springtime gates and stuff.
Yeah.
And the neighbor had contacted in, whatever, and in front of this, I told the neighbors, I told all these neighbors that, you know, what my intentions were and so forth.
Good, okay. Mr. Eichholz, I got to tell you, excellent job of stating your case. Well done. Yeah, appreciate you very much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay. Is there anyone else that'd like to speak on this? Yeah, please. Well, you got to come up to the mic if that's okay. And it's a public hearing, so I got to swear you in, okay? All right. All right. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Great. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Margaret Osinski. I live at 4303 Lexington Green Drive. My home is catty corner from Ben's, one of his Airbnbs. I have watched this home that was trashed by 2 different owners. And each time that home was sold at a very low price, flippers come in, they do their thing, someone else buys it, it got trashed again. And I've watched this happen. Then Ben comes along and starts really putting money into this house, has transformed this house into a sparkling part of our neighborhood. It's beautiful. It's right on the corner. It does have a pool. And my kitchen window, I can see who comes into that house, who leaves from that house as I'm turning into my street. I have seen people, families, getting together. One was a baby shower. She had, on the back patio, balloons all the way across. It was evident. It was a family gathering. Now, to me, Union Township has put a lot of money into Veterans Memorial Park. So much so that the last 2 weekends, there were so many people in that park using the park. It's amazing. It is truly amazing. So this is a spot in our community that is well sought after. I don't see anything wrong with what Ben's doing. He has improved our neighborhood. I do not see any kind of shenanigans at all. I don't see what the problem is, I really don't. If you restrict this to the point, what is estate residential? What exactly is that?
2 acres.
2 point, a little over 2 acre lots.
So it has to be large.
Yes.
Why?
I mean, originally, we had them propose to the estate residential, the R1, and I don't remember, maybe the R2, as it went to the zoning commission. And during the zoning commission hearing, and I attended, the testimony was these don't belong in the R1 district. Zoning commission heard that and elected to make that modification or that recommendation to the board to restrict them back to the estate residential district because there is more space, more room for parking, other things like that. It was kind of there was a pretty extended discussion about that.
Well,
I mean, I'm just telling you where the hearing was and then
Yeah.
what came out of that.
which of course I missed that one, but I was on a cruise. But anyway, in order,
Sorry, I'm not sure what happened.
in order to, have being able to classify an Airbnb as something that needs to be a large area, how can that be even, it's like apples and oranges. So, it's my opinion that, he has done a lot to improve our neighborhood. I'm very proud of it. And I just think that, we should not restrict it to the point where he can't do what he needs to do. People rent houses all the time. And usually renters, you hear a lot of bad stories about renters. You hear a lot of bad stories about people who do bad things in homes. It is not necessarily an Airbnb home that's doing it. So, in all fairness, I just think it's, we shouldn't restrict him from doing what he's doing.
Thank you, Ms. Margaret. Mr. Baker, do you have anything? Mr. Logan? Thank you, Ms. Margaret. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. Yeah, is there anyone else that'd like to speak on this tonight? Please, come on up, sir. All right, same thing here. Come on up. Raise your right hand. Yeah. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Great. Please state your name and address for the record, sir.
My name is Bill Howard. I live at 834 Massachusetts, directly across the street from the property he's talking about. I see nothing wrong with anything that goes on there. My front door and their front door is directly across from one another. I've never seen cars parked on the street. I've never heard anything. I know somebody was saying there was loud fireworks on the 4th of July. I don't know how you would distinguish where they were coming from because they were all over the place. But I mean, you never see kids out in the street. It's basically people my age and maybe 10 years younger that are there. They're groups of people, like 2 or 3 groups of people. I've not found any issues with anything. They don't stay long enough to create any kind of a problem. Usually they're friendly, they wave, and they go on about their way, and we go on about our way. The property is very well kept, and I see nothing wrong with it.
Thank you, Mr. Howard. Either one, everything? No. Thank you, Mr. Howard. Appreciate you very much. Oh, yeah, you have it, Mr. Campbell. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Is there anyone else that'd like to speak on this case, whether it be for or against it? Okay. Seeing none, I'm going to close public comments. All right, gentlemen, I'll open up for discussion. Mr. Becker?
Yeah, so, Mr. Wright, I appreciate the explanation of why ER, because I was asking myself that question as opposed to R1. It makes sense to me. And, I heard the comparison of, comparing a profile of a hotel versus the profile of a residence. My thought process is, when somebody's renting a house, it's typically for, a long period of time, years. Where when somebody goes to a hotel, now you have extended stay suites and such, it tends to be, anywhere from one night to maybe a month. So in my mind, the profile of a short-term rental is closer to that of a hotel, and frankly, should be zone business as opposed to ER or R1. So I would concur the resolution as we have before us, or at least it moves the ball kind of in, I don't know if I want to say in the right direction, but at least put some restriction around it. But I think future consideration ought to be to limit them to business areas. That's all I have, Chairman.
Okay. Mr. Logue, sir?
It's great to hear feedback from the community, and, I can definitely see all perspectives all the way around, like Mr. Becker's presenting, so, same rate, I would say there is, Mr. Wright, there's a path forward, as it stands, that the gentleman presenting his concern with it would be able to have conditional use.
So, to your question, Mr. Logue, so the text amendment is initiated by the board. There was a definition for short-term rental that was included. The zoning commission made the recommendation to the board to strike portions of that zoning text amendment as it was presented. The board has the ability to overturn the zoning commission and adopt it as originally presented, has the ability to modify or accept the recommendation of the zoning commission and adopt as recommended, or to further modify that. And so if the board were to say, well, the zoning commission recommended, I provided a summary of the changes in the report, so you still have the definition that's still out there. They did strike from the other zones other than the ER. If the board were to say, we'd like to add it back to the R1 district, then you would just, if you made a motion, you would make a motion to recommend approval as recommended by the zoning commission with the following further modifications. And then specifically what that modification is that you would want to see. That would be the board's discretion to do that. If you do not do that, you either can deny the text amendment, you can adopt it as initiated, which goes back to the original legislation, or you can adopt it as modified by the zoning commission. That's it.
Thank you.
Anything else? Well, Mr. Becker, you can't put this in business district, because what Mr. Eichholz is doing is he has a house, which is residential, and he's renting it out short-term, Airbnb or wherever he's putting it at. And obviously, these homes aren't in the business district. I've used Airbnb many times. So I'll tell you, gentlemen, I'm a no vote on this. I think you presented a heck of an argument. I agree with you. But here's where I'm at a crossroads, though. I believe you should be able to invest in property. I think you should have the right to earn income, whether it be short-term rentals or long-term, yearly rentals. What I don't like, though, is an overabundance. So I forget the name. President Trump just said he's going to ban it. Like, was it BlackRock? BlackRock. From basically these big investors coming in and buying up every single home. They've got millions of billions of dollars to invest in, where the average Mr. and Mrs. John Q making average money can't come in and buy their average home, because companies like BlackRock are buying them all up. I'm against that. But I am for folks wanting to, buying properties to either flip or invest in, short-term or long-term. You're just finding a way to make cash flow and extra money. I'm okay with that. But I think estate residential is out of the question. There's not too many 2-acre lots in Union Township. There's a lot of quarter-acre, a lot of half-acre lots. So I would like to see something in place. So either A, I'd be in favor of tabling this, or B, I'm just going to shoot it down and vote no on it, is where I'm at, because I would like to limit it, because I don't want like a BlackRock style company coming in and buying up all of our houses, and then where no one else can buy houses. But at the same time, I want folks to be able to make their money and make side income. That's where I'm at. So before I move it to a vote, I would say either we table it and have the language, give us some time to redo the language, or B, I'm going to shoot it down and vote no.
So the official word would be to continue the hearing and process.
Fair enough. Okay, thank you. All right. Make sure I don't get that language wrong. All right, so, gentlemen, where I'm at is I can either entertain a motion to continue this in process, or we can call the vote. What would you two like to do? Any discussion on
Has
that?
Mr. Logue stated his position?
I have no idea. No. What's your thoughts?
Or if you did, I missed it.
Well, I still understand your perspective. I don't really hear other than a continuance, continue the hearing process that's gonna either get you to a position of, what'd you say?
Well, just like.
Have more information on it.
There's McGuffey Bluffs, there's Shaler, those lots are, quarter to half acre lots, and those are what Mr. Eichholz owns, those kind of properties.
Yeah.
And estate residential is 2 acres, and that's just,
Yeah.
there's just not very many 2 acres, light lots in Union Township, so.
So you would be a no vote on this as this is written?
I'm absolutely no vote,
And you would be for this vote as it is written?
Well, it's not the way I would write it, but at least it puts some restrictions in.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
fair enough.
something's better than nothing. I'll take half a loaf. Sometimes.
As long as it's on sale. What's your thoughts, Mr. Logan?
So, Mr. Wright, with this adopted as written, would Mr. Eichholz be able to have a path forward with the current properties he has, or what would that?
If the board were to make a motion to adopt it as recommended for approval by the zoning commission, he would not be permitted to operate his short-term rentals or to seek a conditional use, because none of his properties, to the best of my recollection, are in the estate residential district.
So he would not be able to?
He would not be
pursue
able to.
conditional use?
Correct.
You can just shake, so I don't have to call you back up here. You can just tell me yes or no. Are any of your 3 properties in Union Township 2 acres or more? Of course not. Okay, yes, I figured. So.
Right.
So either A, we get the text right, and I want to make sure we get it right, to be in favor of it. I don't want to see a BlackRock type of company coming into our township. But I want people to be able to buy and invest and have investment properties. I'm okay with that. Go ahead, please, sir. Yeah.
So I think in order to put some rules and regulations around it, you have conditional uses. The conditional use has a hearing process, requires notice. allows for the neighborhood to be very granular in that they can come and say, I want it or I don't want it, right? If you feel like the estate residential is too restrictive, the board could make a motion to modify the zoning commission's recommendation to add this as a permissible conditional use in the R1 district, and then we could make the text amendment, match that with the law director. And it's literally, it's gonna say conditional uses, we have circuitous references in our zoning code, so the conditional uses are labeled in the estate residential, and then they're also specified in the R1, and then in the R2, it says anything is specified in the R1. So it would be a very clean text amendment for the board to consider. If you wanted to see the language before we did that, you could continue it in process with the direction to prepare that, and I can bring it back to you next month, or you can just make that modification and say we want it added as to the R1 in addition to the estate residential, or the R1 and the R2 in addition to the estate residential. You tell us which way to go, and we'll implement it in consultation with the law director. That's literally how this goes.
So it seems like one of the most restrictive portions of, as this is written, is the estate residential piece. And if that, correct me if I'm wrong, if that state residential was changed to, what's the R1 that he's in now? So he'd be able to bring forward the conditional use application.
Yes.
And actually have a path forward, and the community would have input more locally, as far as if that conditional use was granted. If that's the case, then there is the annual inspections, $1,000 inspection fee, it looks like, and during the 12-month period, if there's more than 2 calls for service concerning unlawful conduct or conditions occurring, it can be labeled a chronic nuisance property, of which it could lose its conditional use. Would that all be accurate?
Yes.
So I think that, to me, that's the biggest keystone to this is a state residential correct? Or is it something more akin to R2, R4, R1?
B1.
But there's the opportunity for each individually, for application. Would that be right, Mr. Wright? So
Yes,
if it was changed to R1.
So what you would do is, before you this evening, you see that there is a modified, as recommended by the zoning commission, the number 8 in that text amendment with a comment, restricted to state residential only as per zoning commission recommendation, deleted per the recommendation of the zoning commission. So you would restore that, if you decided to do that, within section 622, you would restore number 8, which says short-term rentals subject to the requirements of section 612.11. You would restore that. If that's what if you wanted to expand the districts that you wanted to allow it in, that's what you would do.
Okay. I'm not in a hurry to push this through.
We could,
I prefer to just continue the process and let's get the language right. And then bring it back.
Sure.
And Mr. Eichholz, for what it's worth, good job on your testimony. Good job on, I don't know if you brought these 2 folks with you as well, but great testimony. I was all for voting on this, and you completely flipped me up here, so appreciate you very much. Good job. So, gentlemen, I'm going to entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Oh, please, sorry.
before you go there, I do want to point out that, particularly on Massachusetts, I've had a couple of residents reach out to me complaining about it and making the argument that, these are effectively hotels and they should be regulated and zoned as hotels. And I thought, well, that's a good argument.
It is a good argument. Yeah.
So that's why I am where I am with this.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
I'm not.
Tell us about the hotel tax and tell us if we get any Airbnb tax. I don't believe we do. Right, as far as revenue?
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not opposed to, kicking the can down the road, maybe send it back to zoning, have additional discussion on this and bring back maybe some different language.
Unfortunately, Mr. Eichholz, we already closed the public hearing, but I can already tell you where this is going to go. We're going to continue it, so, and we'll get it right. And I can't speak for the other two gentlemen, but as far as my vote, I'm going to make sure you don't lose your 3 properties, so. For my vote, I'm 1 of 3, for what it's worth. So, but my biggest concern is, I don't want anyone coming in and monopolizing our houses. That's my biggest concern. I don't mind what you're doing, but now if you owned 500, come on, I mean, so for what it's worth. So, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion to continue, I'm sorry. please.
Let's, Mr. Wright, do you need direction from us as far as what direction?
Before I bring something back, if we're going to
Okay.
continue the process, I need some direction from the board as to what you would like me to bring back. Otherwise, I'm kind of guessing here.
We need to think of a solution of, I'm okay with short-term rentals, but I mean, similar to what Trump said about BlackRock, I just don't want a company coming in and monopolizing it, so, I don't know that regulation.
The mechanism.
That's my biggest thing in my mind is where I'm at.
Thank the mechanism that I see in that language is that would need to be researched, to be changed, so that everything logically connects, is from a state residential to R1.
All right, so I wrote some notes here. Basically, look at limiting the total number per applicant or property owner. Research the legality of that, and then look at expanding that to the R1 district. Is that what I'm hearing? The
Correct.
direction from the board.
From that, I like
From
that.
this one, okay. Mr. Becker, direction.
Business.
Okay.
I don't know how I could be more clear. They should
Okay,
be zone
I got it.
business.
Well, that's fine, but it's an opportunity, I think, to still, I mean, if the governance direction is going one direction, we would love to hear your perspective on it, because you may not agree with the totality of it, but you might still be able to add some value to it.
It's, in terms of any other kind of regulations we put on it or restrictions, I don't know that I would vote no on anything. I guess what I'm saying is, if I had it my way, it'd be zone business.
You got it, okay.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen, I will entertain a motion to continue this in process.
So moved.
Second.
Any more discussion? Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Now, I still need to close this out of public, out of this, correct?
Well, we closed the public hearing.
That is closing? Okay, all
Well,
right.
did you make the motion to close the public hearing?
I did not. Oh, rookie mistake. Gentlemen, I will entertain a motion to close public hearing.
After the vote?
After the
No,
vote.
you'll redo it. I mean,
I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes, and apologize.
Public
for my-
hearing is closed at 7:33 PM.
Sorry for my fumble in the ball there. Okay.
Now we gotta do the vote.
redo the motion.
Redo it again? All right.
Motion and vote.
All right, apologies. All right. Gentlemen, entertain a motion to continue this in process I'll entertain a motion to continue in process, text amendment case number 1-26-T as in Tango.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right,
You
apologies.
guys do realize this was a Seinfeld episode, right?
Apologies about that. Maybe Mr. Hicks is right, and I should slow down. Okay, so Mr. Eichholz, we'll try to get this back up next month. Either way, we'll get it settled for you. All right, next one is zoning case text amendment, case number 2-26-T as in Tango. Mr. Wright, can you explain that, please?
Thank you, Mr. Dills. So there's a corresponding resolution to this one, too. Just noting, we'll pull Resolution 2026-14 from the agenda due to the continuance there. 2026-15 corresponds to this public hearing. This is a case for 226T. This is a case, just to put simply, that will amend the number of dispensaries, retail dispensaries permissible within the B1 district from the amendment as initiated, proposed 6. The current cap was 2. The zoning commission met and reviewed that and recommended a reduction from 6 to 3, and that is the amendment before the board as recommended for approval by the zoning commission. The zoning commission did not elect to make any further changes to the text in regard to the hours of operation or anything else. that concludes my report.
Great, thank you, Mr. Wright. Mr. Becker, any questions?
No.
Mr. Logan? No. Okay, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion to open Union Township zoning text amendment case number 2-26-T as in Tango.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Public session is open at 7:36 PM.
One other point of clarification I should add, Mr. Dills. The zoning commission did also recommend to allow them within the plan development district and to provide the same conditional use approval process to govern that. I forgot that in my haste. I apologize.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, sir. Okay, anyone that would like to speak on this case that is for it? We'll do proponents first. Okay, seeing none. How about anyone against this case? Please, come on up, sir. Yeah. All right, it is a public hearing, so I got to swear you in. Okay, sir. Do you swear to tell the truth? I'm sorry. Oh, wait. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Great. Please go ahead.
My name is Justin Terry. My address, 301 Yamata Road, Suite 3250, Boca Raton, Florida, 33431. I'm here representing Beyond the Low Marijuana Dispensary. I'm a vice president with the company. We are very proud and happy to have been part of this community for the last 3+ years, starting as a medical-only facility and transitioning into the adult use market over the last year and a half, creating jobs, paying regular way retail taxes, as well as an additional excise tax of 3.6% to contribute to the township. Excuse me. And we believe that, you know, when I say we, I'm referring to our friendly other dispensary, the Forest, that's the other licensed dispensary in the township. We believe there is an opportunity to expand the revenue that's generated from dispensaries that to go towards the township, but we don't believe that adding another dispensary into the township is the way to do it. Excuse me, when you Google Union Township dispensaries today, actually 6 or so show up, and that's because Google and other search engines will identify head shops and smoke shops and other establishments that are not licensed dispensaries, but that sell intoxicating, unregulated, and untaxed products as dispensaries, and so those establishments, you know, detract from our businesses, but more importantly, we believe our public safety a hazard because the products that they are selling are unregulated, untested, and in many instances have dosages that are wildly higher than what the state regulates for those of us that participate in the regulated system. They also, you know, contain marijuana cannabinoids that are synthetic, meaning not derived from a plant, and certainly not, you know, grown or produced in Ohio. These stores import products across state lines from other states and operators that are not licensed and don't have compliance departments like we do. So we would ask that the board, you know, table this decision as well. There is legislation making its way through at the state level, Senate Bill 56, which will provide clarification on the various loopholes and definitions that these establishments, you know, abide by in order to sell these unregulated products. The clarification that will come from the passage of that bill will unlock, you know, the ability for law enforcement to enforce rules and regulations and laws that you know, will prevent establishments from doing things that are not technically legal. The clarification forthcoming, we think relatively soon. So in order, you know, and to the degree that unregulated marijuana is no longer a part of the marketplace in Union Township, we believe that tax revenues from the existing dispensaries will grow, jobs will be further created, and status quo will you know, rising tide will lift all ships, And, that's our position. Happy to answer any questions that anybody might have, but just wanted to go on the record and state our position.
Appreciate it, thank you. Thank you, Terry. Mr. Becker, anything? Mr. Lowe?
Yeah, one question.
Yeah.
What company are you with again?
The parent company, Jushi, which owns and operates Beyond Hello on Old State Route 74.
Okay. Have you been with the company for several years?
I have.
When your company applied to the State Pharmacy Board, did you apply to the State Pharmacy Board on market research of locations you wanted to be identified to Union Township and identify that there was no moratorium in place, no reg, to prohibit you from operating?
I'm not sure
Were you aware of a moratorium in place or not? Because we did add some regulation to regulate these businesses more of how they operate.
At the time of our application,
But at the time of your
were we aware?
application, you kind of predated that.
Yeah, I don't recall the exact details, but we applied with this location under, the rules, regulations, laws, and any restrictions that were in place at the time.
Okay. I just wanted to gauge your recall of when your company applied and the regulatory environment and what Union Township has done to take further steps to regulate that. So, okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Terry, appreciate you investing in our township very much. Thanks for speaking today.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, sir. Thank you. All right. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on this case? Oh, please. Please. Oh, please, yeah, Mr. Campbell, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, great. I'll swear you in real quick. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth? It's okay. Nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Great. Please state your name and address for the record.
Charles Raming, I live at 554 Brantner Lane. It's interesting, I think you just had this recent discussion. It wasn't a question of whether or not these temporary housing, Airbnbs, was a problem. I think it boiled down to numbers. And I guess my question here tonight is, I'm speaking against this because it seems like the issue that's before you is that you want to allow an additional number of dispensaries in the township, and you just grabbed a number out of the hat. It was originally 6, and then your zoning board said, oh, let's make it 3. And I guess I don't understand, who's in control of determining that number. I realize that the township has quite a few places to buy beer and wine and cigarettes. And I think there's a control there with the state. And I'm not sure how that works with these dispensaries. Yes, it's a new animal, and I'm not sure that we don't know how to deal with it yet, and we're dealing with that now. I guess my issue with just saying 3 is I think you can probably go to our police department, and one of the fears is crime around these things, and I think that's non-existent. And 2, I think there's quite a bit of revenue that the township's generated from these. And I would be looking at, personally, why not expand on that advantage? If other people are going to be opposed to these for whatever reason, why don't we just say, well, we're not, and we'll take your money? And I just feel that I think there needs to be some kind of research or recognition that there is a number and there is a control, but do we just, where did this number come from? So that's my, I guess, opposition is that you're just throwing a number out there, and I think there should be some logical reason to control that number and not just pull one out of your hat. I know the dispensary that I live quite near, you can go within a mile and there's probably 5 or 6, carryouts that sell beer and wine. And, what was the control there? You have a full liquor store right across from an elementary school right up the street, and you have a full service bar within, a short block from that school. So, those issues where you're worried about where these are and what, what's the impetus around, activity around them, I just feel like instead of just throwing a number out there, I think there should be some logical or, there should be some, substance behind that decision. Because I just feel tonight, you're just going, well, it's going to be 3 or 6, and what's that based on?
I'm going to give you an answer. So, and I can let Mr. Wright talk about it more, but it's based off population. So
Yeah.
you can only have so much per populace. Mr. Wright, what's the actual state?
So depending on who you talk to, it's not a state regulation, it's about business and economics. It's about how many stores can you support per capita.
I see.
And we've heard, anything from, it's about $10 to $12 million of market cap per 10 to 12,000 in population. And so that's what we've heard. And again, this is all anecdotal and all that.
Yeah.
This is a new and emerging industry. So I think the genesis for the code amendment as prepared is, well, we're more than 50, but not 60, right?
Yeah.
And so the market cap for our area is somewhere between 45 and probably 60 million total. And so you look and you back your way into a number based on kind of what you read in the industry, what you talk to people that are in the industry and all that. So really, at the end of the day though, as part of the process, the zoning commission gets the opportunity to make recommendations to the board. So the zoning commission said no, they heard it out and they said, no, we want to only dip our toe in the water and maybe increase it one more. Now that's not binding, that's a recommendation, but that is a recommendation to the board. The board can decide to turn it down, modify that further, or whatever. So that, but it's based on market cap. It's market cap and population.
But again, it's a new industry, and that's just information they're developing. Am I correct, did I hear that the township has actually, has taken in almost $750,000 in taxes on those two?
Correct.
Oh, so.
Per store?
No, total. It's for back taxes.
And so there isn't a control factor now, like I assume the beer and wine licenses are controlled by population right now. Is that correct?
To a certain extent, and then they trade them on the open market.
And then the full-service bars are controlled by population?
To a certain extent.
Okay, so, but dispensaries right now aren't? Okay, just to clarify that, yeah. So I guess again, you grab a number out of the hat, and I just wish there was some rationale behind it, And as I look at it, if you got 2 dispensaries that are creating $750,000 in taxes, what's wrong with looking to double, triple that, and what's wrong with that tax base? If other townships are, if they don't want to take them, we'll take them. We'll take your money. I guess that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Good point. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on this tonight? Oh, Mr. X, please. I gotta swear you in? Okay. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Great. Please state your name and address for the record.
Excuse me, Christopher Hicks, 444 Woodward Court, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45255.
I have it memorized.
But you could have said that.
I could have.
I'd like to ask a couple questions. I apologize, I'm losing my voice.
You sick or?
I have a little bit of a cold, so, or I finally got COVID, one of those two, but I think it's a little cold. So just so I can ask each of you guys, can I ask you one by one, if you are in the last 2 years a user of medical or recreational marijuana, or of any THC type products that are derived from marijuana? So I'll start with you, Mr. Recker, yes or no?
Mr. Chairman, I don't know that it's a good idea to go down this road of having us picked off one at a time, answering various questions, because then what's the next question going to be? The next question.
This is the question I have for all of you.
I think it sets a bad precedent. I'm not going to answer the question, Mr. Hicks.
Okay, so again, you guys are making decisions for the community. You talk about community input. When I ask you a simple question about something that you're saying we want here, or we have a lot of constituents that want it, and it's, I guess, supposed to be good because it generates a lot of money. So if I just try to ask you a simple question, as 3 members of the community like me in the position that you are, why is it a big deal to even answer that question? I mean, I can answer for me. No, I haven't. I drink beer. Every now and then I'll drink a mixed drink. So I'm not afraid to answer those kind of questions about use of substances like that. So I'll ask again, I think the community deserves to know if personally and individually, their elected official trustees are users of these products. Because it would weigh on your judgment, it would weigh on your opinion. If, Mr. Dills, for example, you said you were for more shops, and you could say like, and I'm a user of these products, and this is why I think they're okay, and it's not a problem. You know, that's a point of reference. You know, I can't get that. I mean, I've never used any of these products, so I can't have that point of reference. I can say I read stuff about them, or I read this, or I thought this, but I've never used them, so I don't know. So I think it's a very fair question for the citizens to know whether they're elected leaders or users of the products, that they are involved in making decisions for increasing the use in the community. If you all said, none of us use the products, but we love the money, I think it's an important piece of information. So I'm going to ask the question again. You can refuse to answer, but I'm going to ask each of you.
Mr. Hicks, like I said, I'm not going to answer that question, but I will say this. I am willing to take a drug test and make those results
So John,
public.
just answer the question then. Don't play
I think
games.
it sets a bad precedent.
So
I
you're
don't
not
want
going to
go
answer
down
the
that
question,
road.
but you'll take a drug test. Okay. Mr. Dills.
Yeah, I had an orange cream drink at 50 West and did.
So don't make a joke about it too.
I'm not making a joke about
I mean, so the community,
it.
but I asked you a question, you tell me about
time
having an
out,
orange
time
drink,
out.
it's insulting.
Time out. You asked a question, I'm answering, but don't interrupt me. 50 West, yes, I did. But now they don't sell them anymore because DeWine canceled it or whatever. You can't get them there.
So an orange drink that's some THC products? I
Correct.
didn't,
Yeah,
okay.
6 months ago.
And that's the extent of your use of those products? Okay, so I apologize, I didn't know there was an orange drink product with THC.
I wasn't making fun of you either. I'm not laughing, so,
Okay.
yeah.
How about you, Mr. Logue?
No history. I got a TS clearance and I'm fully vetted, so.
Okay. So I want to come back then and ask a couple questions about the specific recommendations here, but I want to clarify some things. So you guys talk about a moratorium, but prior to the current administration here, they considered that there was already per se a moratorium because it wasn't an approved use. So I think it's a little bit disingenuous to tell people that they were allowed, but we then had a moratorium when you know, Corey, that the interpretation before, when Ken was here, was that they were not allowed because they were not exogenously listed as an approved use. And the zoning code said unless it's listed as an approved use, it's not approved. So you know that. You know that. You also know that the one by Summerside School, the current one, was done in total secret from the community. You know, Mr. Logue, I appreciate you talking about wanting community input, but that one was done without any community input. And then the one that's by St. Veronica School, and I'm saying the school names in particular, okay, because they are very close to schools. The two that we have are very close to schools. And the one by St. Veronica, the only reason it had a hearing, it would have been done in secret, but the people put it on the wrong lot, which you guys know. If they would have put it on the right lot when they filed for it, there wouldn't have been a hearing for that one either. But they put it on a lot where it would require a zoning change to the lot, and that's the only reason that one had a hearing. So let me ask a couple question on feedback. So there's a lot of, I think, disingenuous talk about feedback from at least one of the trustees. We want community feedback, we want community input. I think when I listened to the last meeting, I think there were, I might, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought there were 3 people that spoke, and then there was reference somebody made to 6 other pieces of input that were all against this. And so I'm asking if I had that right, so that would be 9 against, because the 3 people spoke against. Okay, I don't really, the 2 guys that talked, I really don't know what they were saying because they were kind of against but kind of for, so I'll put them in the middle. But what's the breakdown of feedback that you guys have received? Or has there been a survey or something that you did to get community feedback on the expansion of the number of marijuana stores in Union Township?
Mr. Beckman, an answer? Yeah, the folks I've asked don't care. And honestly, if I wasn't in a seat, it would not affect my day-to-day life. When I drive by them, they look like a bank. And
so you're giving me, I'm asking specifically the quantification of feedback.
Yeah.
Or I think the one gentleman gave comments about, are we just pulling numbers out of the air? Are we doing a study? Are we actually getting community input on this? And because you guys talk about community input, when you had a plan that I counted as the get Michael Logue reelected plan for the mall that went nowhere, that wasted $300,000 of money, there was all about, we gotta get deep community input on anything we do, that's a bond that you made with the community. So I'm trying to understand what efforts were specifically made to get community input, and of any input that you've received, other than, I'm not talking about Joe anecdotal, you went and, you know, most people don't care. Most people don't care about most things, okay? So I'm asking what steps were taken to get any sort of input, or to the other gentleman's comment, to quantify what the need is.
Mr. Chairman.
Please go ahead.
So if you recall, there was the survey that, I couldn't recall the explicit question on it right now, but there was an overwhelming, 70% of the community that was supportive of retail establishments with the medical dispensaries. And I'm thinking 3-4 years ago, because it was released through prior administrator, and it was with the survey service that we had, Survey Monkey, I think is what was utilized on the back end, but it was branded as a township survey. So it was interesting because, to your point, it gave a point of feedback from where the residents stand. You know, but there's a lot that goes into governing on this. We've heard a 3.6% community benefit agreement that helps put funds into the revenue stream of the township to help pave your roads.
So you're getting into something else.
May I speak, please? May I speak? In a governance position, you have to weigh all of those perspectives, and I hear you, and I truly do. I hear your perspective. That's the dynamic of governance. It's not always black and white. And so there, may I speak? You know, so there's a trade-off there. The lower taxes, what does that actually do? Are we regulating? Because in 2016, the state made it legal. The state also made it that any township jurisdiction could put a moratorium in place and prohibit. I think it's a huge fault in the fact that the township and the school board at that time did not work together to put a moratorium in place. I know when this board took over, there was already 2 applicants in work direct to the state pharmacy board, which is why I asked that question earlier that I did. The one that was someone's perspective in secret, it did not have to come before the board. Things don't come before the board typically always. If there's a change in a legal retail use like a gas station, we don't see every gas station. So it's just the manner in which those things fell. But we noticed it. We put the moratorium in place, the regulation in place that capped it. Am I a fan of local government saying, here, you know, let's establish a monopoly for the future of this industry, or a monopsony of 2 businesses? I don't think that that's right. It goes to the gentleman's question earlier as far as what's the business economics of it, and what are we, where Ohio law has already allowed these businesses. Our responsibility locally is to decide where and under what conditions they operate. You know, and that's what this text amendment, I think, focuses on, the requirements and the safety standards. And so I'm happy to hear your perspective.
Can I
Thank you.
continue? So I didn't hear
floor is
anybody
yours.
respond, I didn't hear anybody respond to my actual question. I heard Mr. Logue talk about a Survey Monkey survey from 4 years ago, which I believe I opined on a lot at the time that was completely ridiculous because the questions were worded in such a way that you wouldn't get any response other than being for it. The questions were not exogenous, yes, no. Should we do A, should we do B? They were dumb questions that were meant to get a specific outcome. But that's also 3 or 4 years ago, or whenever that was. I'm asking right now, the other gentleman brought up the point of how have we come up with this? And I haven't heard an answer to that. I also haven't heard an answer of, other than Joe saying that most people don't care, I haven't heard an answer of the actual feedback you've gotten. I've at least wrote down 6 and 3 from the last meeting. I put these 2 guys in the middle. You know, is how much feedback have you gotten in writing or speaking, or something that was more formal than, you know, the realistic perception that most citizens don't care about most things at most times.
Mr. Chairman, part of the most formality of this too, I mean, it can't be lost on everyone's perspective that, what was it, 3-4 years ago? What was the constitutional amendment? constitutional amendment.
So again, you
Where-
keep, you
please,
keep
may I-
going,
may I-
no,
may I-
I'm sorry,
may I
Mr.
speak?
Logue,
May
I
I
keep
speak?
asking a question, you
I'm
talk
talking
about
to the
other
chair.
stuff.
May I
Can you
speak?
answer the question I've asked?
May I speak?
Hold on, let him-
70%
let
of
him-
the township voted, and I'm saying that is rather significant. Roughly, that number is, I think, what came in. So I'm validating your point of a lawful.
And we have two shops.
let him- let him-
So the question is about more, and I keep asking the same question, and I guess the answer is that we really haven't done any collection of input on how many citizens think we really need more or not. Okay, we keep going back to a vote, we keep going back to 3-4 years ago, we keep going back to most people don't care. And you talk all the time about the need to get community input for stuff. When we had some crazy mall plan that was never gonna work, that became a big thing to get community input. Where's the community input on this expansion? We already have two. I would ask another question, and maybe I could ask, Chief Reese might know this. Has anybody kept track of how many of the people buying at these shops are actually from Union Township versus how many of them are coming from other places? Mr. Wright gave the thing that we need one per every 10,000 residents. Okay, I don't know about that. But my point is, has anybody done a study of the traffic coming in and out of these places? How much of it is coming from Union Township versus coming from other places like Hamilton County or adjacent townships that don't allow these?
I hear you. I do hear you.
Can you try to answer the question or tell me you don't know?
May I speak? It's potentially concerning to be a little bit of a surveillance state, though. I mean, we do well with the flock cameras when actual crimes occur, but for me to track you individually and know where you're coming and going from, it seems too big brother-ish, and that is not something I want local government to get into. And may I just ask a perspective? Are you supportive of monopoly or monopsony then?
So, Mr. Logue, you always try to change the subject.
I'm just trying
And
to get
it's
your
usually
perspective,
crazy
sir.
shit. Like now you're worried about surveillance state.
I'm
Well,
just-
are you gonna commit tonight to get rid of
I'm
all
having a
flock
I'm
cameras in
having a
Union
commi-
Township?
I'm trying-
Because you're so against the
May I
surveillance
speak,
state,
sir?
will you commit, it's my time to speak. Okay?
It's your time to speak,
Can
okay.
can you commit tonight, since you're so much against the surveillance state, to a moratorium on any flock cameras in Union Township? Because that's your principle, Mr. Logue. You just said it. You're against the surveillance state. I asked something very simple. You do traffic studies all the time for things. It's not tracking people in the manner that you're talking about or flock cameras. It's things like, hey, let's just observe what the county stickers are on the plates coming in and out of here, so that we have a feeling. Let me ask another question. Okay, because I don't think you have an answer for that one. It sounds like we haven't done the research.
Apparently,
Okay.
I can just look at license plates in
Let
the
me-
parking lot and it would satisfy your test.
Let me ask
Yeah,
an.
please, go ahead.
So-
It's
so-
your time. It's your time to speak, sir.
Okay. So, you said there were no other changes recommended by the zoning board except for adding one, right? So in what's been in place, there's nothing needed for any changes in your guys' view relating to location, proximity to schools, anything like that? It's just number.
Mr. Chairman? Please. Can I take a stab at answering some of these questions? I'm kind of taking some notes here. First off, as Mr. Wright explained, you know, where did the number 6 come from? And the gentleman back of the room was inquiring. It wasn't just somebody pulled that out of their hat. It's based on, there's this belief, I think, in the industry that one marijuana shop can sustain a population of 10,000 people. Hence, we got, 55,000 people, hence 5.5 shops. That's where that math comes from, hence the number 6. The zoning commission considered that and decided to go with 1. In terms of, you know, did we put out any kind of survey on how many more? You know, I don't think anything formal or official went out, but there was a whole lot on social media on this topic. I got multiple emails on the topic. I got copied on a lot of different stuff that's come across social media, things brought to my attention. So there's been a lot out there, and overwhelmingly, the answer has been, you know, we don't want any more, or two is enough, or better to have 0. You know, I keep seeing the argument that, well, any legal business should be allowed, to which I would, a couple of thoughts on that. Number 1 is, this is not a legal business, it's a federal offense. Number 2, you know, strip joints and adult bookstores are legal businesses too, and I don't want them here either.
So the feedback that you've gotten would be, you said personally, your feedback, which because of your stance on the issue, everybody should appreciate you might get more feedback of a certain ilk, but that your feedback has been overwhelmingly negative on having more?
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Dills, more than people just don't care, do you have any other statistical? I trust that he probably does get a lot of emails on stuff like this, but
No, I called a handful of people to get their thoughts and opinions on it.
okay,
and,
Mr. Logue, anything statistical that you have?
This is your time to speak, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Of the townships around us, are there any that, to what degree do they allow marijuana shops? So Batavia Township, Pierce Township, Miami Township.
I don't know.
Okay, so originally, all three of those townships, Batavia Township, okay? All four of those townships don't allow any of them. Is anybody here aware of any of those four townships now allowing marijuana shops?
No, just City of Milford.
Okay, that's why, I know City of Milford, they have two, is that correct? Okay, but of the townships,
I don't know.
of townships in
Mr.
Cleveland.
Ray, do you have something?
I
to
had
add?
heard that Pierce Township, there may be one sighting in Pierce Township, Mr. Hicks.
That's there now?
It's in the, I believe, in the process.
Okay,
That's what I've heard.
so they don't
have
have,
not
they
independently
rescinded any moratorium that they had?
Yeah, I have not
Okay,
independently.
but
That's
right now,
anecdotal evidence.
there's no, you don't know of any, I appreciate it, Corey.
Yes.
You don't know of any open shops
Not to my
in
knowledge.
Pierce, Batavia, Miami, or, who am I leaving out?
It would just be Pierce, Batavia, Miami.
Okay. What about Anderson Township in Hamilton?
I believe they have I believe Anderson Township does have a store.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but of all those other townships around us, have you guys done any other research as to if it's a demand thing and we need one for every 10,000 people, why aren't those townships putting them in? You're saying, I get Pierce may have one, that's coming, but why, Miami's very similar township to Union, why aren't they having one in? Because there's people get their marijuana in Milford? Or come to Union Township to get it?
Perhaps.
Do you guys feel like and I'm not saying it's the same situation, but for the lack of statistical feedback that appeared by what Mr. Becker said, and you might not have meant this way, that one for every 10,000 is an industry statistic. Well, they probably would like it to be one for every 5,000, okay? It's an industry statistic, but,
Opposite. When you want to have more customers, when you have like one every 20,000.
no, because you want
You
more
want more-
shops. You want more people to be using marijuana all the time.
Okay, I think.
Right?
Okay, that's fine, okay.
So
I got it.
right now, you'd have one per 25,000. Based on your numbers, we have one per 25,000. Based on that, so one per 5,000 would mean more ubiquitous use of marijuana everywhere. So even these statistics thing, but I look back to the government all the time. I feel like the government over time has done a lot of things to promote activities that are good for the government making money, but not necessarily good for advancing the community in a meaningful way. And I hear people talk about, well, there's bars and this stuff, but, if we were doing it again, if we were starting from scratch, would that be thought about differently today? You live with things that are already there, to the point of Mr. Logue saying there's complexities of governing and there's things that are already there, but hopefully you learn from them, okay? You learn from how society evolves and what you're doing. And I think back to all the government things that were great. They're just fantastic because they've generated a lot of money. One of those I feel like the government got behind was opioids. And then the government creates the problem that later the government is telling you should be happy the government's going to solve the problem with an opioid settlement for a problem the government was big in creating. So right now, when you say the number one thing, you guys get almost giddy when it's about how much money these things can bring in. And you make references to lower taxes. What taxes have been reduced in Union Township because of money coming off of marijuana shops? Has any tax in Union Township been lowered as a result of money coming off of marijuana shops?
Mr. Hicks, I would argue it takes the pressure off, the upward pressure off of property taxes and pushes the can
So
down the
the answer to
road
my question is no.
when we come back with
I just think, because
an
it's been
increase.
said that lowering taxes. We're not lowering taxes. You're giving an honest answer. It might take away the need to
Increase.
grow taxes as much, but it might create other unintended consequences that affect taxpayers in that mix. So I think, we have two of them. It is what it is. It sounds to me like the number one thing is you guys need revenue. There was a time when here, you wouldn't go through a meeting or two, and Corey can remember this, where there wasn't somebody bringing hundreds or 1,000 good jobs to Union Township. We don't have that anymore. We don't have that anymore. You're gonna start running out of TIFs and JEDs at some point, and you're gonna have huge holes in the budgets for safety services. But now we're to the point of we're worried about how we can plug holes by more pot shops. And we don't have any statistical research. We don't have any real input from the community other than some SurveyMonkey survey 3-4 years ago and a belief that people voted a certain way. Well, they got two, they voted a certain way, now they have two. We don't know whether they're being used predominantly by Union Township residents or people coming from other places, because all the townships around us currently don't have any, except maybe Anderson. So we're just gonna go do something. And I think when you do this, it should be more, the same things you did like for a mall, the same things you did before when you did a survey. Now you've had them for how many years have we had them? 3? 2, 3? 3 years. So isn't it time to do a little research before just pulling a number out of the air? Because it sounds like you pulled a number out of the air and the zoning commission pulled a number out of the air. And it doesn't seem to me like there's been a lot of thought process into that, what the demand is, where the demand is coming from, what the impact could be otherwise on it. If the demand's all coming from northern Kentucky, you could at least watch in a parking lot to see how many Kentucky plates are coming in and out of a place. It just seems like it's not very comprehensively thought through, and it seems to be a little bit more about giddiness and money. And I think when government gets giddy about money from drugs, gambling, alcohol, whatever it is, we end up down the road looking back and saying, we probably shouldn't have done that. And you have an opportunity now. You already have two. I don't think anybody's sweating in Union Township. You're not getting a lot of calls of people like, I'm trying to get some marijuana and there's not enough shops in Union Township. I can't get in. Probably not getting those calls. Okay? So you might get calls from people on the streets because they weren't planned well for the traffic on at least the one on Mount Carmel, Tabasco. Okay? It wasn't it's like a Chick-fil-A. It's like every Chick-fil-A is designed poorly. But I would just ask you, we have two. It doesn't sound like you've done any of the legwork other than pull a number out of the air and be enamored at more money. And I think that, to the other gentleman's point, is why not have a real basis for a number versus just go back and forth with the zoning board on pulling numbers out of your asses? And let's remember too, Mr. Dills, and I'll close with this. You sat up there and said a hill you were willing to die on is not allowing an auto zone in the Big Lots place.
I did.
Okay? So you put more energy got put into stopping an auto zone than's gotten put into doing research on this to have a decision based on facts and real demand and where the traffic's coming from. Then, so it's just pulling numbers out of the air in that. So I think you guys should just think about it more, as to what is involved here, and have your numbers be based on actual research and actual community input, not something getting slipped through in a couple of trustee meetings. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Baker, do you have anything?
No.
Mr. Lewis?
I'm good, thank you.
I have a couple of things. The auto zone, it was a net zero. It wasn't gonna create any jobs, because they already have an auto zone location. They're gonna shut that one down and move it, so it's like a net zero. And, call me selfish, call me, I'm trying to think long-term, not short-term. I don't want an auto zone at the front entrance of the main entrance of the mall. Don't tell me on one hand you want a Liberty Town Center, mixed use, or even, I don't know if you've been to Deerfield recently, but it's killing it. But they don't have an auto zone or a Firestone or an Advance right in the middle, smack middle of Liberty or Hyde Park or Deerfield, they don't. I don't want it there, or that's no offense to AutoZone, I don't want any auto parts store going in there. And it was a net zero, it wasn't gonna create any more jobs. They're moving from one location to the other, so then we're gonna have a blank building where they're currently at, and then now we gotta try to solve that problem. So, I don't mind folks coming from the outside to shop anywhere. I hope all of our restaurants are packed from outsiders. You know, we got Pigskins that just opened up. We got Mount Carmel Brewery. Your friend Ken Geis helped get that deal done. I hope they're all packed from people from Hamilton County and Butler County and Adams County. Great. Come to Union Township and solicit our businesses. That doesn't bother me. And you're right, it does help fill holes that are going to come eventually with money. It does. And we'll have to think of other creative ways to fund those holes being filled. I agree. But
I appreciate your comments. What's your next TQL? What's your next good job, support a family place?
So you know what, Mr. Hicks, we're running out of land. Eichholz, I don't know if you're related to Eichholz, but they ain't selling their farm. They won't.
Okay.
They got too much money. They don't care. They ain't selling. I got no more. You tell me where we got land to put a TQL. You talk to him and get him to sell his property, then maybe we'll give you some kind of kickback for getting a deal done or something, because we can't get him to sell. And then we have the IMBIS, but the IMBIS, guy passed away, and his kids are fighting over that property. We got no more land for a TQL type of property. You find me the land, sir, and I will, we'll give you a contractor fee, because it's not there.
Well,
So
we
I
have
don't know, how do you want me to put?
someday in the future, we have a whole thing called a mall.
Total, by the way,
Okay?
we're in agreement on
So
this.
we have a huge amount of land that at some point will
Besides-
come online, and a lot of these things take a long time.
Totally agree.
But my point is, Joe, is I don't remember, I'll take at face value what you said, the AutoZone people saying they were shutting down their other AutoZone locations.
They did say that.
Okay, so if they did say that, I would find it hard to believe that a small AutoZone location versus a very large one would have the same number of jobs. Okay? And to sit there and act like an AutoZone is unacceptable at the entrance to that mall, which is, and then also be on the news about the malls full of homeless enclaves, is absolutely ridiculous.
It's not, because someone called the news
So-
anchor. No. Someone called the news anchor, news anchor called me because they were living inside the Sears. That's what happened.
Okay.
Now, I stand by my comments about the homeless. We have a huge problem here. I stand by what I said. And
My-
the problem is that you can ask Chief Reese, because that was one of my first phone calls, was to him, asking him about, hey, do we really have that big of a homeless problem? Absolutely, and we don't know what to do with them, and they don't know where to take them.
And that's a legit problem. I don't know if it's a problem at the mall.
But
okay?
we'll stay focused on
But
this
at the end of the
topic.
day, to sit here, we're still arguing about the AutoZone. And my point is, you just
brought
proved
it
my
up. I didn't
point.
bring it
You
up.
put more energy into the AutoZone than you do in a decision relating to marijuana shops. Okay, and I think it's time to say, and by the way, the mall ain't all that, and it ain't gonna be all that for a while. So an AutoZone would be better than an empty building up there, but we're not here to litigate that. But I think you just proved my point that you have more passion about stopping an AutoZone than you have about doing a proper project around what's the real right number for marijuana shops, okay?
Fair enough.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Hicks.
Close the public hearing, John.
Okay.
Close the public hearing.
Is there anyone else that'd like to speak? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and I'll entertain a motion to close public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Public hearing's closed at 8:19 PM.
Okay, gentlemen, we are open for discussion. Mr. Becker, you'd like to start?
Sure. So I've already made a number of the comments that I had planned to make on this topic. I don't need to repeat any of it. However, I did bring with me just a couple of emails, and this is really just a sampling of what I've gotten from the public, and I'm just going to read a couple of sentences out of each of these. I'm totally against any more marijuana dispensaries to be built in the township. We have 2 now. That is 2 too many. I retired from law enforcement almost 44 years and have seen how starting out with recreational marijuana leads to other illegal drugs. Please vote no. Another email. I've been in the real estate business for 40 years. The types of businesses that have a direct effect on home values can be a slippery slope. Take a drive through Marymount and Hyde Park, observe what you see and what you don't see in what you don't see in the high-value areas. We could use a few nice restaurants, not more weed shops. And I guess my final comment would be, you know, this sounds a whole lot like incrementalism. We started with one, well, it's just one, well, then it's just two, now it's just three. Next year it'll be just four, after they're just five. Where does this end? Maybe it's six. That concludes my remarks, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Becker. Mr. Logan?
You know, yeah, lots have already been, has been said, and trying to have, I guess, some open conversation, being transparent, and communicating that. Yeah, governing has a lot of complexities to it, and happy to be able to, I think, dive into any of that, but as far as thinking on it more, I think that's the recommendation that was taken. I've got that. Do same surveys like we did for the mall. I mean, that was a very well done time to try to engage with the community for feedback, and it cost some money. But we got an idea of what the community actually was interested in that survey. I believe since then, again, that was the direction I wanted to take things with having a community engagement manager hired and brought on. We're able to bring Lisa on, who's done a phenomenal job. So that's one of those things. I don't think, you know, a larger, more robust planning session for something that, you know, the mall's 110 acres, so the comparison there just doesn't line up for me. The business and economic sense does. The unintended consequences is, can be said and found everywhere. We talk about TIFs and JEDs up here. We talk about TIF revenue. You know, a TIF can help bring revenue to this township, and the same can be said that it raises taxes on people that are outside of our township in the county. So, you know, it's unintended consequences. That's what makes it complex, but at least we have an open system for transparency and communication, and there is accountability at the end of the day. So with that, I don't know where your thoughts are on, but I'm happy to hear them. I've heard you speak quite a bit, so I'll go to you, Mr. Chairman.
By the way, Mr. Hicks, I don't mind, it's kind of fun, actually. I don't mind it. It was good. Good dialogue back and forth. Chief Reese, I'm going to throw it over to you for a moment, and then I'll also ask Chief Clemens, any police issues with the two current ones we have right now? Any issues at all? You know, because Mr. Becker, he's on Nextdoor a lot. I've seen some of the comments on there, you know, 20-inch rims, you know, open up the trunk, drug deals going on, you know, whatever. Is it any issues at all with the police at all at these two dispensaries?
It's been relatively quiet at both of them. We haven't had any problems to speak of.
So in the 3 years they've been in existence, no issues?
None that I can think of, no.
Mr. Hicks just walked out. Do we want him to hear our feedback for him?
He's got his camera.
Oh, he's recording, okay. All right, I just want to make sure he heard our feedback.
That's right, okay.
This is kind of germane to his questions. But please go on, thank you.
Chief Clemens, any issues at all from your end?
We haven't. I think, you know, thinking back, I think we've made a couple EMS calls to the facilities, but no more than any other business in the township, so there's no strain on our department.
I think, to me, when I literally, like, I meant what I said. If I was not in this position, I would give not 2 seconds thoughts about these things. I just don't care. And the reason why I couldn't answer those questions is because I don't frequent these locations. I've never been to one in my life. So, but they look like a bank to me. The buildings it looks like a bank. It looks like a professional business. I've never heard of any riffraff going on. Both of our chiefs said they have no issues with them. And you know, our township's 55,000, and it's not going to go down. I think it's going to continue to go up in residents. And so, I don't know. It does produce revenue for the township. I don't see a problem with them. I don't. So, as far as me, I think based off Mr. Wright's populist recommendation of 6, the zoning board said 3. I think a good compromise would be 4. So adding 2. That's my thoughts. I would ask your thoughts, but it's kind of pointless probably.
Well, that's
But
what
Mr.
I'm saying, you know.
Mr. Lucas here.
Don't just be black and white. Sometimes you may not have the vote
what,
the direction you want, but you can have some value added. Yeah, so thanks, Mr. Dills. Look, I think regardless of anyone's personal views, that's a lot of what we've heard on regulated retail, medical, or marijuana dispensaries. Ohio voters and state law now allow it. The responsibility of local government is to determine where and how they operate so that they are compatible within our community. We've taken steps to regulate that. Tonight's discussions about zoning standards, space requirements, safeguards, so that these uses that are in existence in Union Township, they're able to operate responsibly and in appropriate locations. And that is what I believe we have tried our best to do since the law was passed that allowed these in 2016 and no moratorium was in place then. So you are offering a question as far as the economics behind it. I've had discussions with Mr. Wright. It makes logical, sound business sense, nothing to be giddy about, but sound sense on the number of 4.
Mr. Becker, any discussion?
Are you two, well, no, I've said everything I get to say.
Okay. Gentlemen, I entertain, did I close that public hearing?
Yes.
Okay, I did, okay, I just don't want to make the same mistake twice. Okay, all right, so I'm going to entertain a motion to approve, let me make sure I get my wording around here, as recommended by the zoning commission with the following additional modifications of changing to 4.
4?
Total, so adding 2. They said 3, he said 6, I said 4. Total, so adding 2.
I just want to make sure I understand.
So 4 total. Okay, yeah, that's my recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any more discussion? Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
No.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, and it is 8:30. Gentlemen, I'm going to entertain a motion for a brief recess.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
We'll take a recess at 8:28 PM.
Is your brother Deb?
My brother is David J.
Oh, who? Oh, it's all right.
Okay.
I know I've talked to a Delbert.
Oh, Delbert? Yeah.
All right. Gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion to exit recess.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
We'll return to our meeting at 8:37 PM.
Per few requests from residents in the audience, I need to rush this thing through, so let's go. No old business. New business, our consent agenda. Gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion for our consent agenda for the approval of minutes, 2026 regular meeting minutes, 2026, February 10th, 2026 zoning meeting minutes, approval of payments as prepared by our fiscal officer, Ron Campbell, and approval of our monthly financial report as prepared by Mr. Ron Campbell.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, Mr. Wright, approval $15,000 or more. Go ahead, sir.
Certainly, let me blow through these. First one I have is to the Transportation Improvement District, the amount of $100,000. That's for the annual work program. Second one is to the Community Improvement Corporation, Economic Development Funding for the purchase of fire apparatus, the amount of $1,695,000. Next is ESO Solutions for the fire department software in the amount of $16,040.76. Next one is to Stryker Sales Corporation for our new medic unit cot and load system in the amount of $73,205.14. And just so the board's aware, that unit was about half that cost was it 4 or 5 years ago?
2022.
Yeah, so
it's
about
gone up
4 years ago.
$30,000.
It's gone up $30,000. So that's for the new power cot and load systems to help save on injuries and make the patients safer. The next is for Stryker Annual Service Agreement to Stryker Sales Corporation, the amount of $60,224.20. This is to maintain the other items that we have. We have these in our units throughout the township. Next up is Tri-State Preventative Health Consultants Annual Physicals for the fire department, the amount of $38,340. Next, after that, Motorola Solutions for new portable radios, 7 of them, in the amount of $27,563.79. After that, you have ITC Technology, again for the police department for their annual license and support for the Alerts CAD computer-aided dispatch software in the amount of $38,796.64. Next item is CAD dispatch console service agreements, again with Motorola Solutions, Inc., in the amount of $35,118.66. And finally, Design to Wellness for service department gym equipment in the amount of $35,447.60. And this is an item that we can facilitate under our allotted, tools and equipment, or Matt's done some cost efficiencies, and we can make this improvement, so.
Mr. Becker, any questions?
Nope.
Mr. Logue? Okay, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion to approve purchase orders exceeding $15,000.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
I love good behavior. I mean, yes, we got it.
Yeah.
We got it. What? The fire truck. We got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Wright, resolution
Yes, there we go.
2026-15. Thanks,
Yeah.
gentlemen, for being here.
Yes, sir. And just to point out, we continued 26-14 due to the continuation and process on that. So resolution 2026-15 is just a corresponding text amendment resolution that codifies how you modified the zoning commission text. So you just need to adopt that to initiate that as recommended and as further modified by the trustees.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. And Mr. Wright, just letting you know, I struck out resolution 2026-14, which pertains not to you, but it's to your short rentals. So we struck that out. Mr. Becker, any questions for Mr. Wright?
No, so this is about the zoning rentals and the,
No, this is number 2. We're
This is
skipping
the
number
second.
1. Number 1 we struck. We struck number 1.
Yes.
so number 2 is what then?
That is the second, that's 226T, the one that you voted no on, sir. The marijuana dispensaries.
Oh, number 2 is the marijuana
Yeah, so
dispensary.
2026-15 is the marijuana
And
dispensaries.
you want to be a no voter?
I'm glad I asked.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be awesome if you would have Yeah, Mr. Logan, any questions?
Nope.
All right, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion for resolution 2026-15.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
No.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Man, that would've been awesome if you didn't know. That would've really made my night of all this.
Should've called it out.
I know. Mr. Wright, resolution 2026-16.
Yes, sir. This is the resolution that authorizes us to begin the process of advertising and disposing, or basically, and I hate the word disposal, it's the swans. It's to relocate and rehome the swans.
Got it. Any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. Some of these Mr. Wright, I think you said the lifespan of a swan is like 18 years?
18 to 22 years. is
18 to
what they told us.
22. What's the lifespan of a swan in Union Township?
Right now, it's not very good.
It's a good.
Not very good.
3 to 5,
4
maybe?
years?
I was in Columbus when I got the text that somebody backed over one at the cemetery, which is the last place I would ever expect a swan to be a casualty of a vehicle.
Have we ever had one that's lived 5 years?
Yeah, the ones in the
Yeah,
Memorial
we-
Park, 10 years.
The ones in Veterans Park are our longest-lived swans. She is correct.
Have we ever successfully had any swan eggs that like hatched and we have
No.
adult swans? That's never
People
happened.
threw the eggs in the road one time. We did have a batch hatch at the cemetery, I believe. Is that correct, Mr. Taylor? But they subsequently died due to various.
This has just been one long horror story.
But I'm envisioning being able to turn it into a children's book. I think there's a civics lesson to be learned here.
All right.
Clearly, we're not need to be in this one.
That's all I have, Chairman.
Mr. Luke,
That-
questions?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, Jim.
And, sir, just a point of clarification, and I really respect the commentary that we heard this evening. That value for those swans is set by Ohio Administrative Code, Section 1501:31-1601. That's where we came up with that value. So I didn't just pull that out of the air.
They're priceless. You can't put a price tag on them. All right, so, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion for resolution 2026-16.
So moved.
Second.
Or any discussion? Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolution 2026-17. Mr. Wright?
Yes, this is a resolution that authorizes the transfer of a obsolete police cruiser. It needs, new transmission, new gearbox, some other things, to Tate Township. They have a need for a vehicle. They're willing to, I guess, put sweat equity into repairing it, and it would cost us probably the amount of money we would get back from auction or more to actually follow the auction process. So this is the most efficient means to dispose of this item is through another agency of the state. So that is the proposal, $1 donation, Tate Township.
Mr. Becker, any questions?
Nope.
Mr. Logue?
Nope.
Gentlemen, entertain a motion for resolution 2026-17.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, snow emergency, 2026-18. Mr. Wright?
Yes, sir. So if you recall, I put this out to the board. I received one comment in favor of it, and really nothing else. So this would allow the township in certain instances to declare snow emergencies during a snow emergency event, which are defined in the resolution, allow us to order vehicles off the road, and in the case of recalcitrant property owners, ticket them or move them to improve our snow removal operations.
Mr. Becker?
But our goal, as I discussed the last time, is we don't want a ticket. We always want to make contact through either the service department or the police department. And then talking to Miami Township, who's implemented this, they have never ticketed anybody because people always move their vehicles.
That's good. So, Mr. Becker?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for kind of pushing us down the road a little bit, allowing the public opportunity to chime in. And I've absorbed that feedback as you have, and my concerns have been alleviated.
Mr. Logue?
Nope.
All right, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of resolution 2026-18.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, 2026-19, then and now. Mr. Wright?
Yes, sir, and this is a housekeeping item from the fiscal office. It's a then and now certificate for $22,473.16 to ESO Solutions. This is just cleaning up an issue where we had some wires get crossed on something, but this is for a legitimate service for the township, so.
Any questions, either one?
Nope.
All right, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of resolution 2026-19.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, resolution 2026-20, the aggregation one.
Yes, sir.
Go Go ahead, Mr. Ray.
And I apologize, I didn't mean to jump the gun, I'm trying to get through as
No,
quick as
no, you're
possible.
good.
So our electric contract's up again in 2026. And there's an error in the resolution, it should say for a 12-month term, but we will make sure we correct that Scribner's error. It ends in June of 26, prices are up, we're gonna try to negotiate up to another 24, whatever we can get, the best price in that, but it's gonna be high. We've seen numbers in the high 9s, low 10s, and that's where the market is. You'll note in the resolution, the language says, provided that the negotiated rate is below the predicted Duke Energy current price to compare offered at the time of presenting the presentation of the renewal quote. So this just gives us the ability to go out with our third-party consultant and hustle to the extent that we can. We can't always beat the market. We're usually better than most offers, but not all of them, as Mr. Becker is very attuned to on the Energy Choice website, so.
Mr. Baker, any questions?
I know, but a comment.
Sure, please.
So with the segregation, of course, we have gas aggregation as well as electric aggregation, and it seems like the electric aggregation has been more successful if success is defined as being lower than Duke Energy, as most people would define it that way. Gas, on the other hand, has not been good at all. And I guess gas is just more volatile, perhaps?
Very volatile.
And we're just timing it wrong. So that hasn't been going well at all. And, for people to get the best deals, you have to go to that, the Apples to Apples website and do your own shopping. You got to be anal to do that. Have a spreadsheet, mark your calendar, know what contracts you're getting, compare the costs, know when to cancel, when to move on. You have to manage that. So if you don't want to manage that, most people don't, then, either go with Duke or go with aggregation. And the electric aggregation has been successful. That's all I have, Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Logan, anything?
No, happy with it, thank you.
I'll say that I personally despise this. I hate it. I don't want to do it. I'm going to vote yes on it, but I hate it because it's the same thing we always get. Residents will bombard our administrator, assistant administrator with their emails. Oh, you switched me over. Y'all voted for it in 2019, or was it 2019?
Well, it's a fair,
Whatever.
2015.
15.
should we consider putting it back on the
Oh my
ballot
gosh, yeah, I hate
to
it.
repeal it?
Let people shop their own gas, electric. We're not in the business of doing this, and I hate it, man. It bombards us, and then people talk negatively about us, and it's like, guys, it's not our fault. I mean, the township voted on it in 2016 or whatever.
I would not recommend going through that process again. As we learned last year, if the pricing is competitive, we can always just move back to Duke.
Fair enough.
Which we did that for a
I
month.
just, man, you wouldn't, because you just get nothing but negative garbage about us. It's like, look, we have to do this.
I know.
It's out of our wheelhouse. So I hate it.
Well, we don't have to, but if we're going to do it, it must be an opt-out. We have no choice there.
Correct, yeah, correct. Whatever, it's all good, let's vote on it. All right, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of resolution 2026-20.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolution 2026-21, then and now. Mr. Wright?
Yes, sir, this is another housekeeping item. I apologize for not keeping them together. This is purchase then and now for Sherman Signs in the amount of $4,070. It's related to some last-minute emergency work that we had to do for a tenant at one of our leased buildings.
No problem. Any question, Mr. Wright? No? Okay. Gentlemen, I'll take a motion for the approval of resolution 2026-21.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
2026-22, non-bargaining wages. Sir?
Yes, sir. These are the non-bargaining unit employees. As you know, we have collective bargaining units that govern about 85 to 90% of our employees. These are basically everybody else, part-timers, administrative positions, command staff in the police and fire departments. Recommending, we have a 3% across the board with some merit-based increases and some market rate adjustments for a few positions, and then some adjustments to add parity to peer-level positions. So that is the recommendation before you this evening.
Any questions, Mr. Wright? Seeing none, okay. And gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of resolution 2026-22.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
I don't need you to explain the next one, Mr. Ray. Resolution 2026-23, nuisance abatement, same as usual. Thank you, the mayor, Scott, for getting all this done. Let me see here, for 555 Marjorie Lane, 510 Old State Route 74. Looks like that's it. So I'll entertain a motion for the approval of resolution 2026-23.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Please.
Mr. Chairman, I drove past both of those properties today, and it looks like something you'd see on TV after a flood or a hurricane.
I saw both as well.
That's all I have.
Yep, well said. Any discussion, Mr. Logan? Good. Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolution 2026-24, Mr. Wright?
Yes, sir. This is a resolution relating to the fire truck that you recently approved funding to the CIC for. This allows the township the opportunity to enter into a lease purchase agreement and to reimburse the township for those proceeds. You know, as we embark into sort of uncharted waters with potential property tax repeal, I think it's prudent to preserve our cash to the extent possible. The net cost of funds when considering our sweep account is about 125 basis points. So certainly, Mr. Campbell and I have looked at this over and over again. Not a great option, you know, but we really would like to extend the payment period over about 5 years, which is much shorter than the useful life of this vehicle. This is a 20 to 25-year-old vehicle. It's basically brand new. It's got 300 hours on it. They may have changed the oil one time in it. So in that, I would recommend that the board go into that lease purchase agreement to allow us to maximize our cash and extend us through sort of some uncharted waters until we get some more definition on the property tax front.
Mr. Becker, I know you have questions. Go ahead, sir.
Nope, no comment.
One question, and Chief, apologize if I put you on the spot. What does a brand new one of these cost?
For this same truck, you're looking at probably $2.2 million, and you're waiting probably 2 to 3 years to get it built.
Got it.
This specific truck is coming from Northern Kentucky. It's 2 departments that merged, and they realized they have no need for this new truck that they just bought based on the merger. So it's a great opportunity.
Mr. Chairman,
Nope, you had your chance. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I mean, Mr. Wright and I have had extensive conversation about this. Initially, it was actually 2 separate conversations. One was about the truck itself. Yes, it sounded like a no-brainer, all in, no question. We had more extensive conversation regarding the financing of it. You know, I'm not going to vote no on that. It's the difference between what we can earn on the cash versus what it's costing us on the lease. It's just not a big number. It's not worth fighting over. So I'm giving in. I don't want to be accused of voting no on a fire truck.
And you're living edgy tonight. All right. Mr. Logan, any questions, comments?
You know, I appreciate that. It makes me feel a little bit of influence up here that I was able to sway you in a direction
That's what
on
it's
the
all
fire
about.
truck.
There you go.
So, like a real story of governance up here tonight. No, I'm good, thank you.
All right, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of resolution 2026-24.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Nope. Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Wow.
All right, comments from the
I
board?
know, I see it from Mr. Campbell even, he's like, this is the biggest, this come from Mr. Campbell, who didn't get his $70,000 storage boxes for Mr. Becker, but the fire department just got a $1.69 million fire truck.
I'm getting weak. It's old age or something. I don't know.
Mr. Becker, the floor is yours, sir.
Oh, so yes, I have my usual restaurant review in terms of pricing and where I have, it's only got 4 of them this time, Mr. Chairman. Arby's, dinner for 2. They got good fish sandwiches there, $14.97. And they got great mozzarella sticks. They really do. Pizza Hut, dinner for 2, $20.98. You know, just the other day, I got 2 large pizzas, 5 toppings each, $10 each. That's a deal. St. Veronica fish fry, dinner for 2, $24. It's for a good cause, and it's good fish, big fish, is what I recommend. My last one, Taco Bell. One of my favorite places. They have really good food. In fact, dinner for two, $19.46. When I was bringing home the truck was smelling so good. It's like, I'm glad I have an emergency fork that I keep in the truck. I almost ate it on the way home.
Yeah, call me, I'm sorry, go ahead, sorry.
And that concludes my remarks.
I mean, I've used gift cards in the past, someone used a birthday, Christmas, but I cannot recall the last time I've used a coupon for a restaurant. I can't recall.
You get these deals on the apps or online. And in fact, that Pizza Hut deal was carry out only, for example. You had to buy it
John,
online.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If, we'll make a gentleman's bet. If you lose the auditor's race in May, you gotta buy me Tony's or Jeff Ruby's. If you win in May, I'll buy you Tony's or Jeff Ruby's. You wanna do that? A real good steak, high quality. It's not Union Township, what do you think? Not Arby's, not Taco Bell, Ruby's or Tony's.
You're getting me way out of my comfort zone.
He's sweating there.
Are we having an upward limit on how much the dinner can
Nope.
cost?
Get whatever you want. No limit.
As cheap as I am, I'll get a glass of water.
I don't believe Jeff Ruby's has coupons out there, so.
I'll accept your bet up to an upper limit of $100.
All right, fair enough.
Actually, when you buy like a $1,000 gift card at Ruby's, you get 20% off when you do it like at Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna go out for an anniversary or something.
Mr. Logue, floor is yours, sir.
No, we've heard a lot from community feedback tonight, and, that's what I'm here to do, so that's all I've got to say tonight.
Yeah, I was telling Mr. Logue, and Mr. Wright knows this too. So for my birthday, my business colleagues got me concert tickets tonight, like 2 months ago. And it was like Friday, I'm like, oh no, it's the second Tuesday of the month. So they're all, my phone's blown up with pictures from the concert. I'm like, yeah, whatever, yeah, have fun. So, hey, gotta do my duty. I'll just say this, I don't think, before you and I came on, I don't recall very often, I mean, I'm talking less than a handful, ever, that trustees voted against each other, ever. And it was always unanimous, yes, across the board, yes.
Probably
yes,
once
yes.
in 20 years.
Dude, yeah. And yet, I think we have a 2-to-1 vote almost every single meeting, we probably average it. It's
Well,
pretty
remember
good.
what John told us once? In the State House, you can vote no
And still be right.
and still support something.
So, what,
no and hope
I said, well,
passes.
it's just 3 of us up
So-
here, so it's a little bit more dialed in than.
For what it's worth, we always have a good relationship after this, so it's all good, yeah. All right, okay, gosh, I'm not as fast as Mr. Logue at reading this stuff, but my goodness.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, no, it's okay, it's
I
okay.
can read, I'll make a
Yeah.
motion.
All right. Upcoming events, okay, Union Township Zoning Commission will be meeting on Wednesday, March 25th, 7 PM. Review zoning case map amendment, specifically Union Township case 2022-26-Z and Zulu. Board of Zoning Appeals is scheduled for Thursday, April 2nd, 7 PM, pending any receipts. Next Board of Trustees meeting is Tuesday, April 14th, right here, 6 PM. Park and Recreations Committee meet Thursday, March 12th at 5 PM. Registration is open for upcoming CPR class provided by our fire department. Thank you, Chief. Saturday, April 4th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Civic Center right here. Registration for vendors for our farmers market is now open. The farmers market begins Friday, June 5th and runs through September 11th, excluding the holiday of July 3rd. Okay, geez. Mr. Wright, you should shorten these up a little bit. All right, I know.
Ooh, that cameraman will sue us.
All right, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion to enter executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 121-22, G as in golf as follows. Wish me luck. To consider confidential information related to the marketing plan, specific business strategy, production techniques, trade secrets, or personal financial statements of an applicant for economic development assistance, or to negotiations with other political subdivisions respecting requests for economic development assistance, provided that both of the following conditions apply. The information is directly related to a request for economic development assistance that is to be provided or administered under any provision of Chapter 715, 725, 1724, or 1728, or Sections 701, .07, 3735, .67, 3735.70, 5709.40, 5709.43, 5709.61, 5709, my goodness, .69, 5709.73, 5709.75, 5709.77, 5709.81 of the Ohio Revised Code, or that involves public infrastructure improvements, or the extension of utility services that are directly related to the economic development project, and unanimous quorum of the public body determines by a roll call vote that executive session is necessary to protect the interest of the applicant or the possible investment expenditure of public funds made in connection with the economic development project pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 121.22 Gulf 8. My gosh, I need it. So moved. It's too late for that.
So, one clarification,
Ain't nobody gonna check my words on this. Ain't nobody's gonna go through and check. my
provided
words.
administered under any provision of chapter 715 point through 725.1724 or 1728 or section 701.
There were a bunch of twos in there, those sections that you read, so just a point of clarification.
Oh, and then the two, 7001.07, 3735.672, 3735.70, 5709.402, 5709.43, 5709.612, 5709.69, 5709.732, 5709.75, or
They're whole
5077, 5709.81.
Well, you put the word two in there.
Yeah, there's a two in there.
He's saying us,
If any
he's saying us
nerd's
from
gonna
getting
go through that
sued.
and double check what I just said.
He's saving us from getting
So
sued.
moved as amended.
Yeah, so move as amended. All right, we got a
We'd-
second?
Yeah, second.
Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker? Yes. Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
We're into executive session at 9:03 PM.
Didn't mean to call you all nerds, sorry.
That's all right. Don't hurt my feelings.
I didn't hear it.
I've been called worse, I got called an idiot tonight, so it doesn't matter.
assume she's good. Okay, gentlemen, I entertain a motion to exit executive session with no action taken.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
We're out of executive session at 9:20 PM with no action taken.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Campbell, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
We're adjourned at 9:20 PM.
Gentlemen, thanks.
Thank you, Tiffany.